Mitsubishi. We work harder than anyone because we care. At RC Hill, we're all about affordability, so you could drive for just $3 down. Plus, I've got over 200 certified used cars, SUVs, trucks, and sports cars, and rates as low as 0%. But hurry, these pre-tariff prices won't last long. I'm RC Hill, 2 locations, DeLand and Ocala. See all my rides at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit and $3 down. Require bank approval. Trade value up to 120% of KBP. Offer ends April 30, 2025.
Are you worried about long-term injuries after an accident? I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. Before you settle, know your rights and know your options. Visit justcallmo.com. Let's make sure you're covered. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.
Celebrate 30 years of Tijuana Flats epic meal deals. Now, you know them for Taco Tuesday. They've made every day special now. Get Dos Tacos, chips, and a drink for only $8.88 every day, only at Tijuana Flats.
Eustace Roofing, with over 65 years of experience in Central Florida, provides a VIP experience with an on-site crew lead, project manager, and expert team for every home. No wonder they won National Roofing Company of the Year. Visit eustaceroofing.com to schedule your free estimate.
Thank you for making Mercedes-Benz of South Orlando one of the premier luxury dealerships in Central Florida. We are the official dealer of luxury, providing the ultimate VIP experience at a price you can afford. Call Monica Ventura at 689-319-7680. That's 689-319-7680. We guarantee you will be treated like VIP and nothing less. Across from the mall at Millennia.
Fresh Florida blueberries. In a world of jumbo-sized snacks and artificial flavors, Florida blueberries stand proud, bursting with antioxidants and ready to tackle hunger, one delectable bite at a time. From muffins to smoothies or straight out of the carton, they are the tiny titans of taste, delivering freshness as bold as they are blue, proving once again that good things come in small packages. To see what Florida blueberries can do for you, visit freshfromflorida.com today.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of over 40 Greenway dealerships vying for your car when you trade it in at Greenway Kia. When dealerships compete, you win. We're offering as much as $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Curious what your trade's worth? Check it out now at greenwaykias.com. We want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, with 3 area locations to serve you.
All factory rebates to dealer, negative equity refinanced.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Future health weight loss.
Want to lose 10 pounds by next month? You need to go to futurehealth.com for easy, fast, and affordable access to weight loss meds like Ozempic, Zepbound, and pill options if you don't like injections. A new report proves Future Health users get 58% better results than meds alone, and with fewer side effects. We know you'd rather lose 45 pounds easily and keep it off than only 30 pounds by yourself and gain it all back. The meds eliminate hunger and cravings, while Future Health handles the rest. Easy. Plus, the best part? You don't need insurance. It's all done online with their licensed clinicians and fast pharmacy deliveries. Take the 3-minute quiz at futurehealth.com, get approved, and start losing weight this week. Visit futurehealth.com. That's futurehealth.com. Future without the E.
Future health weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BANK, B-A-N-K, BANK. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and Sealand.
It is Monday, April 21st, 2025. Lots to get to today. From Pope Francis is dead to Sinner is the #1 movie and Hollywood hates it. And a woman gets revenge in an insane Easter murder. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, Sealand.
What's
happening? And hello to you. You can join us on the show. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Monday?
Good.
Not bad. Yeah.
How are you, bud?
You know, good enough. Good enough. Should be fine today. Schedule all over the place this morning, but we'll be all right. Got a lot of things to talk about. We got our friend Amy Kay joining us in about an hour on the show, I believe. We'll see what's happening with her and a whole lot more. Anything fun go down this weekend that I missed out on or no?
Oh, I mean, I had a soccer game that I worked. It was Bring Your Dog to the Stadium Day, which was a lot of fun.
I forgot about that. There's a lot of people bringing their dogs out there.
Oh, it was so cute. And then they have this halftime show, and the guy had performed the year before, Scooby and Christian.
Okay.
And it's this tiny little chihuahua.
That does the passes, like the full...
oh, not the Frisbee. It's like the man stands on his... does a handstand, and the dog climbs up and balances, and then he'll get on a soccer ball, and he just... It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. Plus, his handler is like macho man with a tiny little bun. It's just the cutest little duo. And then I looked at him, I'm like, how do I teach Carl to do any of that? Is it too late?
It's never too late. He's an older dog, but he can still learn newer tricks. You know what I mean? I think it's still possible.
When you do bring your dog to soccer day, who has what's the biggest dog there?
Oh, we saw a Great Dane. It was a Great Dane without a doubt.
Huh.
And so we took out the pyro that we usually have in the light show.
That's nice of you, yeah.
And then we added doorbell sounds and ring cam sounds.
That is messed up. That is hilarious, but it's also messed up.
Great time.
Was there anybody with like a crazy rabid dog swinging wildly out of control, or was it all tame?
Everyone was pretty tame. Yeah, got some barks here and there, but for the most part, it seemed like all the dogs got along.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Good job, Orlando Pride.
Easter this weekend, 420 this weekend.
Riz.
I had another family catastrophe that just played out over at Courtney's house this week, and we'll talk about that at some point in time. Right now,
speeches again?
No, it was totally different, and just maybe one of the more bizarre situations I've ever been in my life. But all right, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great big wide world of ours, and here we go. It was not just Easter, but as I said, 420 yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm sure people in New York City were going out in droves to see church stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, some of them were, but there were also some people who are super into the smoking weed. And we go here to a crowd of them. Here they go.
Oh, no.
All right, these folks, just so you know, have 5-gallon water bottles on their head, which are all connected to tubes.
Your office cooler.
Yeah, like a cooler water bottle.
Oh my God.
And they're all smoking with them on their heads.
Do you know how intense that is?
You'd be high for a week.
It's entering every pore of your face as well as your nose and mouth and eyes.
I think I'd be perfectly fine with just the contact high from an event like this.
Yeah, you could just hang out. You could be on the periphery of an event like this and go, that was good. That was fun. They're all just inhaling an entire 5-gallon bottle of this stuff.
8 of those.
Yeah, man.
Good whoever put that rig together. Have you tried or
something
know
like
a
that?
friend? Not that. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that, but I have seen the gas mask.
No.
And the gas mask is insane.
I've never tried any of that stuff.
I've only seen the gas mask at the store, like the head shop, and I've never known anybody who's
I have
bought it or used it.
Yeah. I mean, it's advanced. It's a very advanced move. I just honestly feel like if I did that, I'd be in here giving the last minute message on Friday, and I would still be a little high. I'd be like, yep, sticking with me right now.
Me.
But the world has changed so much from when I was young and the way everything worked with marijuana. And I didn't want to boomer rant you here, but I'll tell you, I noticed it so much this weekend when Courtney and I went to a Total Wine and we launch into the seemingly brand new overnight marijuana drinks marketplace. And I swear to you, like, this came out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, there's not like one product or two. There's a whole aisle of marijuana drinks. And there are marijuana seltzers, and there are marijuana concoctions, and there are shots. There's things that are like
understand how they're
stronger.
selling that in store.
I have no idea. It seemingly came out of absolutely nowhere, but there's an entire thing. And when we went in this weekend, I go, oh, I didn't know. So they have a White Claw that's like kind of or they have a drink that's equivalent of like a White Claw, but now they have shots. And none of this has alcohol in it, right? It's like the equivalent of THC in the shots to be like one liquor shot's worth. And it is just insane that all of this stuff has popped up, and now there's a whole market for this. Young me wouldn't believe it. Just would not believe it.
Yeah, you had the stuff with the seeds.
Yeah, seeds and the stems. Yeah, the old school. And even this weekend, I stayed away from it. 420. I said I can't be doing this. I can't be like some of you folks.
I bought like a little shot of one of the ones
weed
from that same aisle.
Yeah.
And I just it's still in the fridge.
By
the time everybody left from Easter, I was like, I'm good.
Bring it on Friday.
I'm all right.
Bring it to station Friday.
Well, yeah, it was Easter. There were two different kinds of messages from President Trump, and they were very different.
I saw a lot of the one.
I didn't see any. Do share.
One was like, hey, it's Easter Sunday. Everybody celebrate. Jesus.
Easter Sunday, we celebrate his glorious resurrection and proclaim, as Christians have done for nearly 2,000 years, he is risen.
All right.
Through the pain and sacrifice of Jesus on the cross,
switch there was weird.
We saw God's boundless love and devotion to all humanity.
All right, so this is very basic, run-of-the-mill Easter celebration.
I got picked in class to read the next two paragraphs.
Yeah, well, his post on True Social was very different.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please, I can't read this, so
I'll read it for you. Happy Easter to all, including the radical left lunatics scheming so hard to bring murderers, drug lords, dangerous prisoners, the mentally insane and well-known MS-13 gang members and wife beaters back into our country. That's just sentence number one.
Yeah. Happy Easter to the weak and ineffective judges and law enforcement officials who are allowing this sinister attack on our nation to continue. This message was so brutal, it killed the Pope, folks. My God.
I have another theory.
He goes on, but it's so interesting because at the end, it's like, I wish you, with great love, sincerity, and affection, a very happy Easter.
You lunatic leftist.
It really takes a swerve. Like, I could picture somebody coming into the room and they're like, hey, happy Easter, everybody, including the radical lunatic leftists and the wife beaters and the mentally insane and
sleepy Joe Biden, which, by the way, for the amount that he calls Joe Biden sleepy, he spends the rest of the time saying that Joe Biden has done so many bad things. I was like, I don't think he has time to sleep with all the multitudes of terrible things that he's done.
No. He I don't know if he worked it. Yes, he did work it into this one because he rationalizes that because he said to him and to the person that ran and manipulated the auto pen, perhaps our real president. So it was like the people who were operating Joe Biden, like moving him around like a puppet and stuff. They were doing brutal Easter message. But I like how you got a little bit of both, It's like a little bit of this.
And in that moment of his resurrection, history was forever changed with the promise of...
And a little bit of, just screaming and yelling at people.
Amen.
No fighting went down at my Thanksgiving. No, political stuff.
Did any fighting go down at your Easter?
Oh, shoot. Did I say Thanksgiving?
You did.
No, man, I'm used to it being a Thanksgiving thing. No fighting went down at the Easter gathering that we had. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what happened because it was so weird.
I'm so excited.
I'm uncomfortable.
We're hanging out. There's nieces and nephews and kids all over the place. I don't really have a family, so Courtney's family is my family.
John doesn't have a family. John doesn't have a family.
That's one way to do it. That's one way to handle it.
And please note, I didn't do it.
So I don't have a family, and they have taken me in, and they love me and appreciate me, and I love them too. And Courtney's dad's one of my favorite people. He's a super interesting guy. I call him Chuck, but he's a great guy.
Handsome.
Now, we were talking, we were having a long conversation about a bunch of different things because you could talk to him about virtually anything. In the middle of it, he wanted to go show me something, but I had stepped up and gone by Courtney's parents' front door. I was near the front door because I thought we were going to be leaving soon. And there's kids everywhere, there's families everywhere. Like the place was packed. There must have been 18, 20 people in the house. And I look to my left, and her dad is coming down the hallway with a shotgun. And I go, all right. And he comes over to me, and he's got this shotgun. It was very unanticipated. And he brings it up by me, and he's showing me this shotgun. And next thing I know, he gives it to me.
Oh, God, Sean.
So now,
oh, God, Sean, what did you do?
Now I have a shotgun in the living room by the front door, and I start looking around, and there's like little kids all around me and stuff. And the little kids are like,
an Easter egg.
The little kids are looking at me like, why does this man have a gun? And why is he wandering around?
Why are you walking around? Why are you walking around with a gun?
He gave me the gun, and I didn't know.
You stand still.
I'm holding the gun, and I'm just kind of like moving around like I'm on a turret or something. And I go, yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful weapon.
Was your finger on the trigger?
No, I was holding it as gingerly as I could, but I was still, as I looked around, there's like 4-year-olds and 8-year-olds and 6-year-olds.
The Easter Bunny's here, guys.
The Easter Bunny had just arrived for like the Easter egg hunt and everything. And there I am with a gun in the living room. And I was like, how do I get out of this as fast as I possibly can? I waited until that point to ask him, I go, is this loaded? And he goes, no, it's not loaded. No, I'll get rid of this. I'll put this out of here. I was not expecting to be the random gunman in the living room for Easter, but there I was. And I'll tell you what, I should never be like a guy with a hunting hat and a shotgun or like a rifle or something. It doesn't fit me. It doesn't suit me. It's very strange. Like a handgun, hell yeah, I'll have at it. I'll be fine. I'll be good with that. But the shotgun, I just feel like an imposter holding a shotgun. Yeah, I feel like Elmer Fudd. I literally feel like Elmer Fudd. It was the weirdest moment. All right.
I'm glad you didn't murder anybody, Sean.
I'm very good at not murdering people. Have not murdered any human beings in the entirety of my life so far. So I'll try to continue along with that. But we got to talk about the Pope. The Pope has died. And, of course, that means a lot of things happen after the Pope dies. So we'll get into what those things are. We got to talk about why the Pope died and some of the things around that. There's memes crazy out there that we can explore on this. And we got to talk about a bunch of other things here on the show today. Very, very busy Monday here to kick us off for the week. And as I said, we're less than an hour away from our friend Amy Caulfield chatting with us about everything happening in the world. So all that and so much more coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your ride right now is a smooth and safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Seems like we're incident-free east and westbound on I-4 at this time, and the same does go for Colonial Drive and the Beach Line. East and west of the 408 is also moving along fine. Thankfully, north and south of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway and the 429 toll. Thankfully, no issues on OBT or John Young Parkway right now either. Our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by True Green.
We're back in the miller's yard who now use True Green.
their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stop.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
Don't wait for hurricane season to begin to think about protecting your home and protecting your family. And get some peace of mind with Impact Windows from my friends at Reese Windows and Doors. They're the experts when it comes to upgrading those windows. And when you get that, they come with a double lifetime warranty. When you sell your house, that warranty transfers on. That increases the value of your home, and it gives you peace of mind. You know that you're going to be protected. They've been installing windows around Florida all over the place for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in just 6 to 8 weeks. So get started right now because they want to give you a chance to win $15,000 in new Impact Windows. How do I do that, you ask? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That will enter you for your chance to win $15,000 in new Impact Windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Just text WOW to 20129.
Future health, weight loss.
Get access to weight loss meds like Ozempic, Zepbound, and pill options if you don't like injections from FutureHealth.com. The meds eliminate hunger and cravings while Future Health handles the rest. Best results, best price. All online with no insurance needed. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Visit FutureHealth.com. Future without the E to start losing weight this week.
Future health, weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got.
Go, Mike. Skull Mike Squad, activate. Testing, making sure this thing works on a Monday. Hello, everybody. Rip the Pope. Pope Francis did not make it through the day. They're saying that he died on Easter Monday. And perhaps J.D. Vance was to blame. We'll get into all the stuff that happened with the Pope here momentarily. But hello to you. Hello, how are you? Jump on board. Hello, everybody in chat. I'm excited to see you today. I'm glad you made it back. Good to be around. We're also going to talk about the Sinner and some of the reaction to that. And maybe the more interesting story is, like, why does a movie like that do big numbers, number one at the box office in the United States, and around the world, collective yawn? No one outside of the United States wanted to see this movie, but it's number one, it's a big movie in the United States of America. A lot of theories on why that happens. Weed consumer, hello. Amazed that you even made it anywhere out of your house today. Or maybe you're in your house and just still stoned. But good to have you on board regardless. Let's see what we got here. Ryan says, The Last of Us last night. My God. I don't think I want to watch it. I don't think I'm going to watch this season. I'm not trying to be like a hater, or I don't want to be negative about it, but I just don't. I think I was okay with where the story went in the first one for most of it. And then I think I just don't like the arc. I think I don't know. I just don't know that I'm into it. I didn't want to go the direction that I would have wanted it to go. But we'll talk about that at some point too. All right, hang tight. We're coming back.
Let's say you do live in a state that gives you a tax break on $529. That's great, but don't invest those dollars once you put them in.
We're all about investing in a 529 plan. Typically, right, you want that tax advantage money to grow. But as you get close to needing to spend the money,
De-risking is crucial. In uncertain financial times, How to Money is here to help. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search How to Money, and start listening today.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank, B-A-N-K, bank. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
On the bright side, we're not dead yet. You're listening to the news.
The three best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. And boy, do we have some stuff for you today. The stuff is just overflowing today, as they say. We'll talk to Amy Caulfield at the top of the hour here. All right, so join us with your dispatches. That's how you join the show. Record your video or audio dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. Before we get into the Pope stuff, a lot of people... This is different than last week where I didn't see like any buzz about The Last of Us. Today I woke up and there was like stories at every possible, news outlet that would cover something like this. And then like and nothing got spoiled for me because I knew already where they were heading. And I don't think we should spoil it for people who haven't seen because
then don't open your social media. And I was very particular about, I went into focus mode. Mm-hmm. I was not looking at my text messages until I saw the entirety. And then my sweet girlfriend, who had no idea what was going to happen, said, "Oh, my God. My friend just texted me saying she's crying so bad."
Oh, really?
And I go, son of a bitch. That still ended up spoiling it for me.
Oh, wait, you didn't end up watching it? I figured you would be watching it.
No, I watched it. Just, I think it comes out at 9. I started at 10. Mm-hmm. But I did not, as the person who's played the game 5 times, expect this to happen just yet.
We don't need to like spoil things for The Last of Us.
We'll give
people
you one
who
day, everybody.
I've never really had this happen to me.
And a 2 and a
no. I've never really had this happen to me with a show before, but I don't think I am going to watch the second season. I think the show like moved in a direction that I didn't want personally. Like sometimes you connect with a show and you're like, here's what I like about this show.
Oh, almost.
And then they completely change what the thing that you liked about the show, and then you end up going, all right, well, not for me anymore.
That's what makes this game fantastic. And I think
not for me, yeah.
All right, I think you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you don't continue watching. Now, maybe you just see how it goes, spoil it more for yourself, and binge it months from now. However, I think a lot of people probably under your same idea, and as someone who knows where the story's going to go, mind you, they did twist it up for the gamers. They put a couple new plot lines in there, so it's new for everybody.
I
encourage you to continue watching.
As someone who hasn't played the game, I kind of have an idea of where we're going. Because a promise was made, kind of.
Go on.
And I'd like to see that come to fruition. Like, I don't know. It'll be a fun journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's tons of people into it and that are all about it. For me, it just, I don't know. I'm not interested for some reason, and with the direction that they've taken the show. And I'm trying to think where that's happened before. Maybe Handmaid's Tale. Like, I got bored with that show repeating over and over and over again. You get what?
I get why you don't want to watch it anymore.
Why?
Because I would insert spoiler.
All right, listen, it's hard to talk about it without saying it. So the guy that said the D word for lesbians apologized profusely, and she didn't care. She was stone-faced. It was crazy. That's what everybody's talking about today.
No, it's not.
Good sandwiches, though.
I don't want.
She didn't want those sandwiches.
I'll be real with you. You can think I'm wrong or stupid or whatever. I don't really care.
I don't think that. Go on. Yeah. What were you going to say? Stupid.
Not for this.
When I watch a show like this, there are things that I like about it, right? So for me, with The Last of Us,
I like the character arc between the Joel guy and the younger kid that he met and the whole world that they're existing in. That was my whole focus. That was my thing that I liked. And then sometimes you see like, oh, that character is going a different direction, or this is changing. And it just goes in an arc that maybe changes things up for you. And maybe that's because I didn't play the video games or 100 different reasons. But yeah, I don't have the draw to it for whatever reason.
It was a twist, but I do think as the season goes on, there are other twists. Because a lot of people, if they are choosing to continue to watch, have a certain idea about who is the hero, who is the villain. And I believe that will change for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, Fresh Rock says, just watch it and stop being a baby. I don't think I'm being a baby. I just don't think it's not for me. Honestly, it seems like the show is, to me, was like kind of spinning in a different direction where maybe I'm not the target. And that's fine. That's fine. But it's just, I'm not going to just sit there and watch something that I'm not driven to. There's so many damn things out there that I have to catch up with and watch. And maybe I'll watch it at some point. Maybe it'll change my mind. But for right now, it's not bringing me in. But they don't necessarily need me. You know, there's a lot of talk about the show today, so we'll see what's going on. And if you guys had a reaction to that. No spoilers. I will weed out all spoilers over on the Dispatch side of things if you're trying to. Is what?
I was about to kind of like tease it a little bit, but it turns out I don't know my terms as far as the sport goes.
Hey, I did get one dispatch that I do want to work in, though, and that is from your friend Dan, who I guess is...
Oh, my God.
Having a day?
Shakes Vanilla was just doing as he does every single week for work, go to Atlanta, and I just get a text as we're opening the show, and he's like, dude, my plane just caught on fire, and we were emergency evacuated from it. I got to use the slide.
Yeah.
I told Ashley that, and she just texts back, lucky.
Uh-huh. Trust me, I don't want to be involved in any air emergencies. That's nightmare territory for me, but that would be the one upside. That would be so cool.
If there is a preferred air emergency where you get to ride the slide, it would be this one. It would be
on the ground.
Catches fire before takeoff, and they just need to get everybody off quickly.
Can I play this video, or is there cursing in it? I wouldn't.
That's from inside, right? The one that C-Lane sent?
The one that I'm looking at is
tweet.
Yeah, this is somebody at the airport, I guess. I'm afraid that, oh, God, it caught on fire very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So you sit there and you see the side of this Delta plane, all right? And the Delta plane is just seemingly sitting on the tarmac hanging out. And then very, very quickly, smoke. And then, boom, now the whole thing is on fire. This is no insignificant fire. Like, it's... the thing is just roasting all of a sudden.
Yep.
That's scary, man.
And now
oh, my God.
Those people get there. I made it through a Boeing flight that malfunctioned.
And then they're sliding down the emergency escape thing.
Oh, I see Dan.
And making the way. He could be one of these people right here. Heading the way out. Damn, that's freaky. And thank God that happened on the ground.
Yeah.
Holy cow. It's funny, though, because C-Lane sent over the tweet with a couple of videos from somebody that said, a Delta flight just caught fire on the at the Orlando airport. And in the replies, it's like all the local media people.
Yeah.
Not even local. Like, hey, I'm Larissa with NBC News.
I think it's you just going to the tweet without even asking. I like that, too.
Hey, Dylan, thank you. Appreciate it. At Dylan G. Wall over on X.
Text Dan, Sabrina, and tell him to find the closest reporter and then pick a brand. And then just be like, I was just sitting on the plane trying to enjoy this Jameson, and then the plane started catching fire. So I chugged the Jameson,
and
all of a sudden I'm like, now I'm totally out of Jameson.
My Bed Bath and Body Works neck pillow that I had just bought, as well as my new Nike shoes.
If he embraced that fully, there's no way he doesn't get a response. If he becomes the guy on the news, the Jameson guy, load it up with all the rest if that happens for you. God bless. Man, that's crazy. So let's see what he said. He did send in a dispatch after this incident on this Delta flight. Here we go.
I don't know if you can hear me because it's really loud out here, but this was the plane.
He's on the tarmac.
Just had to evacuate. Engine caught on fire. Flight to Atlanta here in Orlando. We were taxiing and we saw the engine caught fire, and everybody freaked out. It was a mess. Thankful for the flight attendants and the crew. They instantly snapped into yelling mode and got everybody out as quickly and safely as possible. First responders were here immediately. It was handled really well from the airline and the airport standing. But
that was the slide.
There's the plane there.
Come on, Dan.
The slides and stuff.
They said you could see the slides and stuff, but he doesn't want to rub it in our faces, I think.
You get one chance to ride the slide. I think I'm going to do a front flip.
The way
hit the middle, then slide.
The way he complimented the flight attendants and the crew and the first responders almost sounded like he was going to wrap that up with like 10 out of 10 wood emergency again with these people.
Thanks, Delta.
Just really, it seems amazing to me that, I hate to say luck in a case like this, but I'm so glad that it happened on the ground as opposed to if they take off and now the engine's on fire. Now you've got a whole world of different trouble. Yeah. Thankfully, they noticed what was happening there, and everybody appears to be okay. Although that's a shocking start, a jarring start to your week.
Going to be a little late to work, I imagine.
That's a little scary. There you go. All right, we also have the Pope story to work into. In fact, we can start doing that right now because I saw J.D. Vance met with the Pope just moments before all this happened, just the day before. It says, I just learned of the passing of Pope Francis. This is J.D. Vance. My heart goes out to the millions of Christians all over the world who loved him. I was happy to see him yesterday, though he was obviously very ill, but I'll always remember him for the below homily that he gave in the very early days of COVID. It was really quite beautiful. May God rest his soul, he said. And you can see
first reply is, what did you do, bro?
I mean, seriously, what did you do? What did you do? He was obviously very sick, but we still pushed for the meeting because I was only there for a short amount of time.
Let me tell you something. One thing was sure. The sun was going to come up today and the Pope was going to die this week. All right? That was happening no matter who met the Pope. This guy.
But it is
amazing.
Funny. Come on, there's some comedy to it. I got a parody song on the way.
Amazing the Pope made it this long because from the story that I saw, the background on Pope Francis
also,
was
the still that you have right now for the streamers.
Yeah, his face was like another world.
This man is going to kill me.
I'll get to this in a second here, but when Pope Francis was 21 years old, he had a bunch of one of his lung removed. So one of his lungs was removed when he was 21 because he had a severe infection, which was a pneumonia at that time. And now he had pneumonia again at 88 years old, all these years later, and ended up, in this battle that led him to like 38 days in the hospital. So the Pope was not in great shape. He looks a bit out of it here, but let's see what this says.
Bless you. So good to see you. Good morning. How are you? Fine. Yourself? Yeah, thank you. I've not been feeling great, but it's good to see you in better health.
That's such a loud camera.
I haven't heard him say anything.
Thank you.
So he's speaking there. I mean, this is the day before he died, and he's like speaking and sitting up and doing his stuff. Maybe he died, in his sleep. The guy, before this was not looking well for all of those days that he was in the hospital, obviously. But Pope Francis, a little polarizing, I've noticed, in the Catholic world. Some of these folks liked him. Some of these folks didn't like him. And he was not Pope for very long. He was Pope for 12 years and 42 days, which bested Benedict because Benedict was the quitter Pope. He was the Pope who was like, I don't like poping, and I'm
gonna stop poping for now.
I think I've had enough poping, so I'm gonna hang up my hat here and get out. Now they gotta pick a new Pope. And my favorite, I have to share this. My favorite Pope Francis moment was he was kind of a character. I don't know much about like his leadership of the Catholic Church and the Holy See and all that good stuff. I don't need to get into that. I'll leave that for the religious scholars. But I did love this one time when he was at, this is a thing that they did. I forgot what the name of this actual event is, but where the Pope is up greeting people, right? And the Pope has to like endlessly meet people. It must be exhausting being a Pope. One after another, you're like shaking hands and kissing babies and all that stuff. There was a tradition where you would kiss the Pope's ring. And Pope Francis did not like that. He did not like this tradition that they had of kissing the Pope's ring. If you've never seen this, it's so bizarre out of context, but watch, all these people would come up and they would try to kiss the Pope's ring when the Pope didn't want it. So, all right, somebody's coming up. He pulls away.
It's like...
He shakes the hand. When they go to kiss his ring, he pulls away from all these people. And it looks like he's just being rude as hell.
Oh,
but he does.
No, thank you. But people keep. Oh, that guy
looks like he was.
He's like, I can see what they're doing. I'm going right for the
So
kiss.
help me God, I'm going to kiss this ring.
It's like a video game where each person in line is coming up trying to get a kiss on the Pope's ring.
Whack-a-mole.
Yeah, the Pope's like, whoa, like dodging him. He didn't like it. He didn't want to do that.
Maybe tell the line of people waiting to meet you that that's what's happening.
He was not a fan, I guess. Pope Francis dead at 88 years old after a short battle, well, shortish, with some pneumonia in the hospital.
They should have had like a stand next to the Pope that he could just place the ring on.
Or give him a fake hand.
So people could kiss it and then, but not be kissing him. It's the ring that's the important part, right?
Isn't that the ring that's passed from Pope to Pope?
Maybe.
It might be. It's funny because it seems like a really rude thing, but he's actually not being rude. He doesn't want them to do something that he seems is like kind of lowering themselves to him and the king kissing the ring.
I'm sorry, but I would feel much lower if you swiped your hand away from me as I go to kiss the air. I feel like an idiot.
He shook all their hands, to his credit, except for the guy who didn't even put a hand out and just led with his mouth trying to go kiss Pope Francis's ring. It's just, that guy really missed. Okay, we'll be talking soon with our friend Amy Kaufelt. We got to talk about the #1 movie at the box office. Sinners is #1. And you know what's interesting about this movie? I don't know if
Crazy
there's
what
ever
happened
been...
when they told the Pope that.
Bam. I don't know if this has ever happened before, but what's his name? Ryan Coogler, I believe, who is the man behind the Sinners movie that is #1 with $45 million, no small sum, this weekend. It did very, very well. 3,308 theaters across the country. But I think, I'm not positive, I think that Coogler has worked with Michael B. Jordan in every one of the movies he's done. And I was trying to think, are there any other directors like that?
Oh, yeah.
Only, like, every movie that
Wes
they have.
Wes
Anderson, but does he have somebody who's consistently through all of the movies? Or
Kevin Smith.
He has a crew, because that's what I thought of too. I was like, Kevin Smith has his crew, and the crew like bops in and out and stuff. But or like, you know, several big actors have people that they tend to like to work with. But I think Michael B. Jordan has been in all of his movies.
That's nice.
Every single one of them they've worked together on, including this one. And there's a couple interesting things about this. #1, the movie is #1 at the box office, and Hollywood seems to not like this. The Hollywood press and just a lot of the big power broker types in Hollywood are pissed off about this, even though it's #1. And #1 in the U.S. with $45 million, but internationally, it absolutely flopped. Took a dive internationally. And there are reasons for all this. We'll talk about that in just a second, plus the tweet that Ben Stiller fired off that got him in the middle of all of this. There's some drama around all of it, and we'll get to it. That's coming up next in the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Monday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your afternoon.
Skull Mike Squad. Hello, folks. Did anybody see Sinners this weekend? I haven't been to the theater in like maybe a month, even though I want to see Drop, and I would probably see Sinners too. I would probably see that movie as well. But it's been a little slow until this comes out. It's like a period piece
vampire movie, which you do not see all that often. And I mean period piece by like, set in, I think it's like the 30s to the 50s or something in the United States. But the killer thing is, Ryan Coogler, the guy who made this movie, Sinners, that's number one at the box office, he signed a deal that Hollywood's pissed off about, which says that he gets all the rights of the movie back in 25 years. And now the thought process is that all the big heavyweights, all the big directors are going to start to push for this. And you know why they're pissed off? Because the thing that they live and die by is their catalogs. So you pay the director, you pay the actors, you pay all the people. Then you see if the movie can get to profitability. But the most valuable thing is that you, as a studio, own that movie. But Ryan Coogler is like, in 25 years, I get my movie back. And you got to give it to him. Get a deal, man. Make your deals. That seems like a good one. Joshua says, how much is the Pope's net worth? I don't know. Francis? Where he was going, he didn't need any money. That's a Pope is a position where you're not. I don't even think the Pope. Does the Pope have a debit card? I don't know if a Pope pulls out a debit card and pays for things. Not that anybody would probably charge him. Although I would. It would be brutal. Full tab for the Pope. No discounts, no bargains. Because you're the Pope. Sorry, buddy. Heartland Media says, for somebody in my generation, this is a good business move. Yeah, I mean, the only people who would be against this, just in my mind, like, why would the average person care about this? They don't care. They want to watch a good movie. And most people think, hey, make the best deal you possibly can. They signed the deal. Am I supposed to be mad about that? They signed the deal with the guy. But for a creator, hell yeah, that's a great deal. You would want anybody who is putting that much into a movie to get that out of it. I mean, 25 years is a long time. But think about it. Like, all of the big studios, they make their money off this huge basket of films and TV shows that they have, right? That's what Netflix and all these other outlets, that's who they go to. They go, who has the product? And all the big Hollywood production companies have this huge slate of movies that they've made. All these TV shows that they've made that have gotten to the magic 100 episodes. And then Netflix goes, we need some content. We'll lease all of that for 2 years, and here's an insane check that we're going to give you. But if a lot of the big productions are going to be owned eventually by the people who create them, then the movie studios don't like that. They're not fans. Your Dumb says the Pope gets a decent salary, $400,000. Pope getting $400,000? I bet he didn't spend a dime. Seriously, I bet he didn't spend a dime. The Pope ain't buying the Pope mobile. You think the Pope is paying for lunch? I bet he just stacks all of that money. Who's the next Pope is the question. Tanya said, even though he declined his salary. Oh, you talking about the Pope? Jug says, so you'd be leasing the rights to your movie for 25 years? Basically, yeah. They would say, look, the movie studio gets the rights to this film and potential sequels and all of that stuff for 25 years. But after that period of time, this movie is coming back to me. And he's a guy who's like, I think, either early 40s or very late 30s. He might be in his late 30s. ultimate retirement is your movie's coming back to you, and then he could do whatever he wants with them at that point. It's a baller move. It's a good one. Cryptocurrency looking better today? Yeah, wake me when the market returns, please. Because the market is just in a slog. I think we erased all of those gains, maybe. If not, very close to those gains on that 1,400-point day. Not looking great over there. The market doesn't like the tariffs. The stock market doesn't like the tariffs. All right, we're coming back.
Risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Real Radio 104.1.
Your direct line to the heroes that saved Canada that one time.
The Vatican, because now they got to get the smoke ready. They got to do all those meetings. They got to do all the voting. Going to elect a new pope here before too long. I don't know. One time it took a while. I remember watching the pope thing one time, and it was like every day they would watch for the smoke to come out. It would be the wrong color every day.
And people stand there for hours, the entire day, just waiting to see what smoke comes up. I think white means they finally chose somebody.
I think so, yeah. And every day would be like black smoke coming up. And you go, no pope today. No pope. And then the pope picking is not really exciting. All the potential popes that are up for pope picking, they all look the same. They're all old, scraggly white dudes. There's no curveball in there. Can a woman even be the pope? Is that even a possibility?
No.
Brutal, ladies.
Here.
Brutal. You can't be the pope.
No.
You're not allowed to have that gig. They give it to the Francis.
Ever.
Yeah, I know they've changed some things. Like they let women into some level of the clergy, but not the pope level.
I think maybe some sections have allowed female deacons, but I don't know if that's like with a 100% blessing from the Vatican.
Yeah, I know that the Pope Francis, who just passed, was seen as, I think they called him the woke Pope and stuff, right? Like he was seen as a bit more progressive than previous popes.
Yeah, even said the F word for gays 2 times.
And liked to go into that direction, I guess. But I most know him
There's another thing you liked.
For just liking to hear people sing. That was my main thing.
I would like
wanted him to sing.
To hear you singing.
He sounded 1,000,000 years old even then. That was a while ago.
I would like to hear you singing.
There he goes. Now they're singing in heaven for old Pope Francis. So we'll talk about the process that follows in a bit here on the show. I mentioned that the #1 movie at the box office, #1 movie with, how much did I say, $45 million and $15 million internationally, so $60 million total. That stops so abruptly. But this movie is by a guy named Ryan Coogler. Sinners is the name of the film. And in the Variety tweet that I saw about this, you saw an example of a bunch of these folks who seem mad about this movie. And for instance, here's a story from Morning Brew. It says, Ryan Coogler cut a deal so good that Hollywood's in crisis.
And an anonymous executive told Vulture this could be, quote, the end of the studio system. Oh, for shame. How will we survive?
You mean they did it on a budget?
The end of the studio system. No, what they're talking about is this. They're saying that Ryan Coogler did a deal with Warner Brothers. In my world, if two people make an agreement to do something, a deal, why do I care? I don't care at all. They both made an agreement. They did the deal. And in his case, the movie Sinners, that's number one in the box office, he is going to have ownership of it after 25 years. Oh, and that's what Hollywood is upset about. So, like, in 25 years, the ownership for Warner Brothers will expire, and he will get his movie back.
Right, well, Hollywood, here's the thing. If you're going to, be butthurt about this, you should not be butthurt at Coogler. It's Warner Brothers.
They made the deal, right?
Yeah.
But you know why they're butthurt? They're like, now everyone's going to ask for that deal.
Exactly. That is what they think is going to happen. I think some people do make these deals. Like, I think Quentin Tarantino makes deals like this. I think some of the bigger directors make deals like this. The story says the lifetime long-term value of our film properties is what makes a studio, an anonymous executive told Vulture. Insiders worry this deal will create a precedent and cannibalize the value of a studio's library, which continues to earn revenue through licensing and distributing to different channels, like pay-per-view. Another unnamed exec said this deal could be the end of the studio system, they said. And I'm all here for it. This is a great thing, actually. And here's why. All the gatekeeping in these worlds, especially in the world of creative things, the creating of content has been knocked down. And I think that is such a good thing. Do you understand? It used to be that if you were just a dreamer who wanted to have a radio show like this, you couldn't just get some friends and some microphones and start recording a podcast and get to millions and millions and millions of people. You didn't have platforms like YouTube or anything. You had to work your way all through the system in radio and try to get somebody to give you some time and opportunity. And it locked out a bunch of people who probably would have been good at it. Now, if I'm honest, it probably led into a couple of people that shouldn't have been behind a microphone ever as well. But mostly, I think it's a good thing. Like music, the very same thing. Now, you don't need a record label to get famous. You don't need all of the strings that are attached there in sync style. Or is that Backstreet Boys? I forgot.
No strings attached. Yeah.
No strings attached in sync. You don't need all of that anymore. You could literally record in equipment that anybody can afford at your house, a track, put it online and promote it, and become the number one Billboard artist of the week. You can do that. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying you can do it. And you don't need all these different outlets that you used to need. If that happens for movies, we're all the better for it. I would love that. Like if some kid with a dream of being a director could save up some money and bootstrap something and then get his film into theaters and then get the attention that he deserves, that's awesome. I don't want big fat dudes in suits making all these decisions. But I guess they're crying about it because here's the Variety tweet that set off Ben Stiller. It says, Sinners has made $61 million in its global debut. 45 million domestically, 15 million internationally is what they're talking about. $61 million in its global debut. It's a great result for an original R-rated horror film. Yet the Warner Brothers release has a $90 million price tag before global marketing expenses. So profitability remains a ways away. And Ben Stiller says, in what universe does a $60 million opening for an original studio movie warrant this headline? And he's talking about how they just want to crap on it. They want this movie to not do very well. And that's what the Hollywood insiders are pushing for. It's kind of crazy to see it. But and like internationally, the movie flopped, and people have a lot of reasons why. People think that
what is it about? I didn't even see
the
a
movie.
It's
a vampire horror flick, but here's why it didn't do well internationally.
It's the first horror movie to get an A in Cinema Score.
It is actually, and that's a big deal for a movie. That means the word of mouth will be crazy.
Nosferatu or whatever it was.
Nosferatu?
That did not get an A?
This is the first one ever in the genre ever to get a cinema score of an A, which is, if you don't know about movies, it's a big deal. And that's when people exit the theaters, it's one of the things that they do. They ask them questions and they ask them what they thought of the movie. Horror movies don't usually get that kind of grade, and this one was very much liked by them. But it's not doing well globally or internationally because the movie's based in like the Jim Crow South, and in Asia, even in Europe, in other countries, they don't know what that is. They don't understand that. It doesn't play well with viewers because they don't quite understand it. A lot of people will say it's because they have black leads in the show, but there are movies with black leads that soar on an international level. And it's not always true that if a movie has a black lead, it doesn't do well internationally. I think it's because it's based in like Mississippi, Alabama.
Are we talking post-slavery, but still like pre-civil rights? When you say Jim Crow South, is that kind of the wheelhouse we're aiming at?
Yeah, civil rights era and all that. Before the big push of the civil rights movement, when separate but equal and all of those things were in place in the southeastern United States and in some other places. But yeah, it's a little bit of a miss for people on an international level, but we shall see. I don't know if we're going to be talking with our friend Amy Cothell here. She's got whipped up in this plane story.
Breaking news, dog.
Yeah, they went with it. This story that a friend of the show even dispatched from the damn tarmac and said that he was on this, was it a Delta flight?
Yes.
Lit on fire, and I mean lit on fire on the tarmac right before taking off. So we may touch base with her later on in the show. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But she's covering that at the moment. We'll get into you and your dispatches when we return. We'll talk about what's happening in your world and an Easter nightmare. Wait until you hear what happened over the Easter break. This one I did not anticipate, and it is a wild ride. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your ride right now is a smooth and safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Seems like we're incident-free east and westbound on I-4 at this time, and the same does go for Colonial Drive and the Beach Line. East and west of the 408 is also moving along fine. Thankfully, north and south of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway and the 429 toll. Thankfully, no issues on OBT or John Young Parkway right now either. Our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by 7-Eleven. Spontaneous pizza cravings can happen at any moment, so they've got you covered. Get 2 bigger slices of hot, delicious pizza plus a Pepsi 20-ounce for just $5 with 7 rewards. Cravings satisfied. Valid through 4/29/25. See app for details.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Roundup Dual Action products rock like a hardcore metal band. This stuff kills existing weeds down to the root, and for an encore, keeps them from coming back for up to 4 months. That's a non-stop 16-week tour of killing and preventing weeds in all the famous outdoor venues, the patio, the driveway, the mulch bed, even along the fence. When it comes to your hardscapes and landscapes, the stuff puts on a show. Roundup Dual Action products kill and prevent weeds for up to 4 months. This stuff rocks. This stuff works. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes them different. Their vans are fully stocked, so when you call, their fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, they have you covered right when you need it most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door today or visit them online at PrecisionGarageDoor.com. Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Hi, my air conditioner isn't working.
We're hosting a pet rock adoption telethon.
Pet rocks?
The internet says they're endangered.
Rocks are everywhere.
You know what's everywhere?
Frank Gay is everywhere. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have AC problems, you need help now. One of our licensed and certified technicians can have your AC blowing cold air in no time. That's the Frank Gay way. FrankGayServices.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy.
Skull Mike. Good news, everybody. Good news. I believe we are connecting with Amy Caulfield right now. They did a short cut-in on Fox 35 to talk about the incident at the airport where the Delta flight lit on fire or caught on fire. So we should have Amy Caulfield in just a couple of minutes, which is nice. We'll see what she's found out about that flight and what else she has going on. We'll get her hot take on the Pope. Somebody said it was just smoke damage. It'll be back up in the air. But I don't know. I mean, the video I saw actual flames, and it was a pretty decent little fire that was going on the side of that plane. Dan said it was on the engine, so obviously that's what we're going to defer to. So that would mean that the engine completely was engulfed in flames. So it seems pretty significant, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they could turn those around. You know, the engineers who work on those things know what they're doing, and they just get that thing back up in the air. But it seemed pretty bad to me. All right, we're coming back now.
IDC.com. If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 That's check. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This
Good to have you around. Thanks for being with us. You could watch this show over on YouTube or twitch.tv/The News Junkie. That's where you can peer into the studio in real time and hang out with us on the chat. We love the folks over there. We're going to be joined by our friend Amy Caulfield from Fox 35 momentarily. But first, the most mild take of all time. I really, truly believe that. I think this is popular. I think most people would agree with this. But I will tell you, after this weekend, I am definitively on the side of Easter is better than Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Everything about Easter is better than Thanksgiving.
Because you got a shotgun this time.
Well, shotgun aside, the food is better. Everything is better. I mean, I don't hate Thanksgiving, but the food on Easter is superior to the food on Thanksgiving. We got to toss out the trash turkeys. We got to just completely get rid of that whole idea. The ham is better. Oh, we had the best ham. My God, it was so delicious. Oof. The food was incredible. I find the food for Easter to be superior in every measurable way to the Thanksgiving stuff, even though there's a lot of similarities, right? There's a lot of items that are very, very similar across the two.
It depends on how you kind of do your thing. I mean, I think our Easter spread was very similar to Thanksgiving. I don't know. We did more of we leaned more brunch on our items.
Yeah. You know what's weird about that? And I'm going to just toss this over to you and tell you, I found this to be strange. we were talking to Courtney's young niece at Easter, right? And she goes, you know what everybody does now? Everybody does brunch events before prom. She's like, it's the big thing. It's prom brunch that everybody does, the big event that everybody does. And my brain immediately went to like, oh, isn't brunch a drinking thing? But I guess it does. Does it have to be?
It doesn't have to be. Like, when I was young, brunch, the idea of brunch usually meant we were going somewhere that had a buffet. And it was typically something that was either Easter. We did Easter sometimes. Mother's Day was a big one. We would find a nice, pricey Mother's Day brunch, something we would take my grandmother to, like even years and years ago when she was still around. But like, yeah. So for me, that was kind of brunch. And then at some point, I went to a brunch where like all the adults got unlimited champagne, and I was like, "What is this?
What's happening here?
Well, this seems very nice."
When she started talking about it, she's like, "Yeah, me and all my friends, we do this brunch thing," and I thought, "Are you allowed to? What's going on?" I really had the two associated together in my head, which I don't know if I'm supposed to or not. All right, is Amy with us?
Yeah, sure is.
Okay, Amy Caulfield. Here she is, Amy Caulfield from Fox 35.
Amy.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you now. We're going over to the phones here. Amy's been running around like crazy this morning. You probably thought you were just about to get out of there before too long, and then all of a sudden there's chaos at the airport, huh?
Oh, my gosh. We were actually in our morning meeting and just talking about, what's coming up for the rest of the week. And, you know how sometimes you feel like, gosh, we've had so much breaking news lately, it's probably going to be quiet today? It's the kiss.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one you should never say out loud.
Yeah, who said that? Was it Brooks? It was Brooks, wasn't it?
It's been nonstop.
That guy.
Oh, what a day. It sounds like everybody's going to be fine. And I know you guys are already like really well versed on the situation because I was texting you to let you know we were going to do a breaking news cut in and you guys were already all over it.
Yeah. A friend of the show, Dan, who's in Sabrina's band and like a musician around town, he happened to be on that Delta flight. And he said, I guess did he text you, Sabrina? Is that how he told you
first? Just when we were starting the show, and then sent a picture, and then we got the like selfie style video of him and everyone still on the tarmac, just waiting to be scooped up into apparently a small room that he said definitely won't fit everybody.
Oh, God. It looked pretty bad, actually. It looks like a pretty big fire that ripped up on this Delta flight. What else are you hearing about that? I mean, everybody's okay.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's okay. It looks like it was just a brief fire coming out of the engine on the right side, but that's the part of the plane that wasn't really visible to us. In all the videos that we've seen, we were only able to see the left side of the aircraft. So it looked to me like an engine fire of some kind. The plane hadn't left yet. I think, and is this correct, Sabrina? What I read is that it was headed to Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, headed to Atlanta, and I think they were being taxied as it all started.
Okay. So they hadn't really gotten very far, but can you imagine that's how you start your day? It's scary. But, as I was just leaving the newsroom to come talk to you guys, we were still waiting to hear back from MCO, but they had spoken to somebody from the FAA, and they had said, as of right now, no reported injuries. So that part is the good part.
Yeah, that's good. Thank God it happened on the ground before that thing took off or something.
I usually sit in those seats, too, that I'm like by the wing or can see the wing, and I just don't know what I would do in that situation. Am I still hitting the flight attendant button, or am I just hey, by the way?
I think you're allowed to yell fire in this.
You are screaming, Sabrina, if that happens. I would tend to be a little quiet about things, but that thing, I would be yelling at the top of my lungs, fire, the plane's on fire right now. Somebody must have done that, yeah.
But doesn't it remind you, everybody thinks, I'm going to offer to sit in the emergency exit row because I get all that extra leg room, and then stuff like this happens, and you're like, oh, okay, this is why you sit in the emergency exit row, and this is your job. You are expected to be able to do this,
Yeah.
First one on the slide, though.
Yeah, they did all get to go on the slide, Amy, and I know you're like us. You must want secretly in some way to be able to go down one of those plane slides.
Apparently, according to Dan,
that's what bounce houses are for.
It's steeper than you think. It looked fun in the way that we have all seen it, but I guess when you're at the top, ready to take the slide. It's kind of scary looking.
Oh, God. I wonder if when Dan was on there, I should have asked, I wonder if there was anybody, because there's always annoying people on these flights. Was anybody like demanding that they be able to take their luggage with them? You know?
Oh,
like,
I'm sure.
So like, I'm not leaving without my luggage. I got to go down. They're like, just jump down the slide, you idiot. My God.
Well, do you remember when the plane flipped over on the tarmac in Toronto? That was like one of the big things. So there were people who were like sort of lagging behind it because they were trying to like grab their, their book bag, whatever, their backpacks, whatever, the stuff out of the overhead. Which remember that plane was completely flipped upside down. So if you're trying to grab,
it wasn't the overhead anymore.
Right, it's not the overhead anymore. Isn't that crazy? But that was one of the things they were saying. Like, no, you don't understand the whole concept of emergency evacuation. Like everything, you go and your stuff stays, But people worry, like, well, what if I never get it back? Or what if it's like 6 weeks before I get that back? Or,
I just think about my life too much, I think. I'm like, I would like to survive. I do not care if I have my shirts and my underwear with me. That's fine.
I'd like to have my phone.
Other
than that,
it was an emergency situation. I probably would hope that I have some extra clothes because I have certainly urinated myself.
That could be a problem further down the road. Anyhow, well, we also saw the news today that the Pope has died, Amy. Pope Francis has died. And now you have to juggle the coverage that follows this. Do you remember how the whole Pope process works, or do you have to like do the deep dive on how they pick the Pope?
Well, so Sean, it's funny you say that because I had forgotten it's actually been 12 years since we went through this process. They called a conclave, and if you guys remember, the last Pope, Pope Benedict, actually stepped down before Pope Francis. So it wasn't Pope Benedict was still alive when they had to choose a new pope. But if you remember, it's the whole black smoke, white smoke. Remember that?
Yes.
And so black smoke means that they did a vote and that they didn't have a majority. And then the white smoke means that they finally have a pope. But it's only the cardinals who are under the age of 80 are allowed to vote, which I thought was interesting. And I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that is. Maybe
because everyone above 80 is probably nominee for it, right? Because everyone who's been the pope has been so old.
Although Pope Francis was the oldest pope, I believe that we've ever had. He was 88. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. But so it's a 9-day mourning period, and then following the mourning period, that is when they will assemble the cardinals, and they all go into a room, and it's a very secretive ceremony, and then the new pope will be decided.
Also, Sabrina was saying somebody emailed, and the Pope ring that they have, I guess they take the ring and then they melt it down, and each Pope gets a new Pope ring.
But it's of the same
metal.
material.
Yeah, like
the same metal?
Yeah, like you've remixed the ring, and now you get to make your own custom Pope ring, and then you get all the accoutrements that come along with being the Pope, like Pope Mobile and all those good things. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, look at us trading facts.
I thought it was interesting that, I know he hasn't looked well in a long time, but I thought that the fact that he was able to get in the Pope Mobile yesterday and was able to, drive through the crowds and wave, and I don't know if you saw, but he blessed a baby, and the fact that he was able to meet with the vice president yesterday, I was like, okay, wow, he's doing better. I was actually pretty impressed with. He looks like he's doing better. So I think that for that reason, I was a little shocked to hear the news this morning, but I don't know. Were you guys all surprised?
I was surprised that it was this morning because I agree with you. I saw the footage yesterday and I thought, this seems like a man who's not in great shape, but he doesn't seem like he's any worse than he was.
24 hours.
Doesn't seem like he's dead tomorrow. Like if I had to put a bet on it, I wouldn't have said that would be the day. But there you go. Now they begin the whole process. They pick a new pope. They got all their rules. And it'll probably be somebody that the average person has no clue who they are right now, I would guess, right?
Yeah, that's usually, I don't think most people, maybe outside of the Catholic faith, even in the Catholic faith, you knew who Pope Francis was. But the other thing I thought was interesting this morning, we were just talking about it, somebody asked, does the Pope get paid? Is there a salary for being a Pope? There is not. However, upon their deathbed, they do give them 3 bags of coins, gold, silver, and I'm not sure, I think maybe copper or bronze. And the coins are based on how many years of service they have served as Pope. But then I don't know who the coins go to, because obviously the popes aren't married. They have no children.
They have a really cool near-death arcade in the Vatican they haven't told people about.
I would like to throw my hat in for I'll take the coins, because that seems like those are cool and valuable, but we'll see who's next. I wish they would just allow anybody to be the Pope. Like, I wish you could just toss out any random name and that person could be the Pope and just lead, from here on out. You get like a Dennis Rodman Pope. You could get, there's a lot of,
that would go smooth for sure.
a lot of twists. I don't want it to go smooth. I want it to be weird.
Like the whole world gets to vote.
Yeah, like American Idol. Yeah, that's right. Yes, we're going to turn this into an American
catastrophe.
Idol.
This sounds like a catastrophe.
That's a super bad idea for sure.
Exactly. There'll be weeks of content for us if we could make this so you want to be the Pope, and turn it into a whole thing.
I mean, we should certainly email the idea before it's too late. As born and raised Catholic and went to school for many years in Catholic school, I really did not grasp the pick a new Pope process until I watched Conclave.
Mm-hmm.
And that has some real insight into it. The movie was kind of boring, but you get an idea of what that conversation is like.
The whole ceremonial,
the politics of it all.
Yeah, the battle, the struggle, power.
Is it a movie or a documentary? What is it?
It's a movie. Yeah, it's one of the Best Picture nominees, I believe.
Oh, I didn't see it. Like recently?
It was one of those. It was a movie that didn't have a lot of people talking about it, but it was up for the award stuff. So
it was interesting.
Got some
I'd
buzz
give it a go if you
that.
have 3 hours to spare, Amy.
3 hours. Okay, I'm on it.
How can I ask this? I hate to broach the topic here, but how are things going with your daughter? Attends FSU, and are they still out of school today? I know that she, thank God, was okay despite the events that took place on FSU campus last week. But what's it like for her today? Is she going back to school?
She is, yeah. In fact, she drove back last night. So she came home on Thursday night. She was planning on coming home anyway for Easter weekend, which was great. So we got to give her a big hug on Thursday night when she got home. And then she drove back last night because they did resume classes today. But, I don't know if you guys saw, they kind of changed their tune a little bit over the weekend. So originally they went into the weekend saying that that the kids' classes were resuming on Monday and they were going to be in person. And then yesterday they came out and they said, you know what, this is a really tough time for everybody. And so if you are not able to make it to class, you are excused. If your professor says you don't have to come to class, that's fine. Some professors move to online. They only have a week left. So basically they have a week of classes, and then some kids will have exams the week after, and that's it. They're done. But Kate said that most of her professors moved to online. And I thought this was interesting. They basically told the kids, if you are happy with your grade in the class as it is, so say you already have an A or B and you're happy with that, then you get to keep what you have. If you're not happy with your grade and you want to take the final exam and try to make your grade better, you can do that. So she said that the teachers are being very accommodating and trying to help the kids out. But I don't know if you guys saw what happened last week. So Kate was in her apartment with her roommate, and her roommate opted to go to class, and Kate opted to stay home. So she skipped class. So the roommate goes to class. They had the class together, and it was actually in the building across from the student union.
Wow.
So the roommate texts her and says, hey, FYI, we just got this alert. And the alert went out to the whole campus on their phones, everywhere. They get this alert saying that there is an active shooter on campus. And so her friend said that the teacher of the class that day packed up her things and walked out as soon as the alert came.
Excuse me?
Yes. And the kids are in this classroom with 3 doors that did not have locks on them. So the kids...
The teacher just left.
She walked out. They took all the tables, chairs, desks, everything they could, and piled them up in front of the 3 entrances. And they said they waited for about 90 minutes until a police officer came to the doors and told them it was safe to come out, that they were going to move them to another building. But you guys remember all the crazy confusion when everything first happened?
Mm-hmm.
We were hearing there was more than one shooter. We kept hearing. There were some people who did bad journalism and sent out an alert saying that multiple people had more people that had died than actually had. And there was the rumors were flying, and these kids were scared. So anyway, I don't know what happened to that teacher. I don't know where the teacher went. Some people were like, well, maybe she was out in the hallway trying to warn people, which is
I don't know
possible.
about that.
I don't know about that. But
With her
it was
briefcase or with all her stuff?
Right.
Yeah,
I
don't know. Yeah, like a backpack or something. You know what I mean? And just like, but left the room. And like, what is the responsibility of a college professor versus, high school, elementary school? I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying it was just for these kids.
It's a weird look. It's a very weird look. Amy, did Kate's roommate indicate whether, like, how the situation was with the cop coming to the door, like how they were able to know it was indeed a cop? Did they use the code word? I know they sent out the code word. It was Seminole.
That's a good question. Well, and I don't know, Tulane. I'll try to find out more about that. But here's the thing. As you guys know, the alleged shooter was a student of the school. So if, in fact, there is a code word or a safety word, does it really help you if a shooter is also in the know about whatever that is because they are part of the student population?
We kind of wondered about that, too, and I think what we landed on was that the shooter would have had to, in order to learn the code word, be checking their phone while doing the bad thing, which seems odd, but it is weird that we would even have the code word and send it to everybody.
Yeah, one of the things that came up in all of this, Amy, was there's been a big push to get cell phones out of schools, especially like middle schools and high schools. And I'm in full agreement with that. And you could see that the studies show that when you get the cell phones out of the schools, the kids tend to pay more attention and learn more. Shocker. But when you see an event like this, I mean, as a parent, you got to be real glad that you are able to quickly communicate with your kids and make sure that they're okay when something like this is going on. I don't know. How did you feel in that moment? It must have been good to hear back, obviously, quickly from your daughter that she was, in fact, okay.
Oh, yeah. Sean, for me personally, this is the second time that that Kate has had a school shooting. So you remember a couple of years ago, she was at Seminole High School when someone walked in with a gun and shot another student in the hallway at school. And so that whole campus went on lockdown. And I had the same sense of panic and ended up doing breaking news that day with my phone just going crazy from both her and Caroline, my other daughter, who were both at school that day while this was going on. The whole school was on lockdown. The kids were running, and it was total chaos. And so for me, having to do breaking news a second time now on a school shooting involving your child, it's just, you just never think in a million years, right, that it's going to happen to you, and then to have it happen twice. Kate was just like, Mom, what are the odds that I've already experienced this twice now? It's pretty incredible. So, I'm glad they had their phones.
Same.
It certainly made me feel better because she was able to message me right away. So that was good.
Totally understand. That's tough. But glad that you got, good news in the moment there, and we'll see what happens with them getting back to class here. Thanks for, as always, taking the time to hang out with us today, even though you're doing breaking news about the airport and everything.
Oh, my gosh, what a day, you guys. Well, I'm just glad that your friend is okay and that everybody on that plane looks like they're going to be all right, because that's scary stuff.
Yeah, what I'm hearing from some people is now that, and I don't know, we'll have to try to confirm this, but one of the inflatable slides, I think, didn't open up on that plane. And so they had to rush stairs out there real quick since the plane was on fire and all. But it could be another problem that they were dealing with. Anyhow, thank you, Amy Caulfield. For Fox 30.
Thank you, guys. Love ya. See you next week.
Have a great week.
She's the best of the best. We love Amy. Okay, when we come back, we will talk about this. This happened on Easter. And it's probably the most bizarre Easter-related story that I saw all weekend. But this is one you got to check out. All right, we're going to talk about this. It's coming up next in the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your ride right now is a smooth and safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Seems like we're incident-free east and westbound on I-4 at this time, and the same does go for Colonial Drive and the Beach Line. East and west of the 408 is also moving along fine. Thankfully, north and south of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway and the 429 toll. Thankfully, no issues on OBT or John Young Parkway right now either. Our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by 7-Eleven. Spontaneous pizza cravings can happen at any moment, so they've got you covered. Get 2 bigger slices of hot, delicious pizza plus a Pepsi 20-ounce for just $5 with 7 rewards. Cravings satisfied. Valid through 4/29/25. See app for details.
Real Radio has your chance to win a dream home makeover. Brought to you by Fairwinds Credit Union. Up for grabs is the ultimate backyard from Orlando Backyard Living. Win a roof from Eustis Roofing. Solar from Solar Source, a cooling system from Mills Air, or a whole house filtration system from Pure Touch Water Filters. Get more details and enter all 4 of these contests at realradio.fm/contests.
Joe Rossi from Greenway Kia here. Tariffs are hitting the auto industry hard, but we're ready. We loaded up on...
Go Mike Squad. Hello. Nice to talk to Amy. Glad her daughter's okay. How absolutely screwed up is that the teacher, when a shooting alert comes through, ditches the students in class and they can't lock themselves in? Could you imagine if something would have happened there? Yikes. That is rough. And I'm not saying, like, if you're a teacher, if you're somebody who's taken on the job of teacher, that I would expect you to, like, get into a hail of bullets in a gunfight or something if somebody shot up the school. But I would, at the very least, expect you to lock the door. You know what I mean? Like, bare minimum, lock the door so that the shooter roaming the campus isn't going to get access to the kids in your classroom, and you're not leaving them, like, completely unguarded. It's crazy. Alicia says, why were they not smart enough to follow? But I don't know, Alicia. If I get a message and I'm in the classroom that there's a shooter on the campus, why would I follow and run out? I don't know where the person is. So what if I'm just running right into whatever the problem is? You understand what I'm saying? Like, fleeing there, you might go, well, yeah, of course, there's a shooter. Get out of there. If there was a waiting car in a parking lot and you knew it was in the opposite direction of the shooting or something, maybe. But, like, if you're in the classroom and you get the alert, you don't know where this person is. That's kind of the point. Sometimes, as weird as it sounds, staying still might be the safest thing. Melissa says that's not cool, but they're college students and they can take care of themselves. Yes, of course, they're adults. But what we were talking about was the teacher was the one in charge of, in an emergency, locking the door and putting in place all the security features of the classroom, which dark that you even have to have that, but you do. So if the teacher's job in that emergency, much like, you know, if you're in the emergency exit row on a plane, they tell you, here's what you're supposed to do. Now, even on a plane, you'd be able to figure it out, but when you're in the classroom and the teacher just bolts, they couldn't actually lock the door. Snoop Frog says some of the kids that were at FSU were also at Parkland. Yeah. I mean, that's why, like, the thing with younger generations, Gen Z and after, their thoughts on everything related to gun control is going to be so completely different. It's going to be so completely different than every other previous generation, because a non-insignificant amount of them have either been at a school when a shooting happened or know somebody who is one of their friends who's been at a school when a shooting happened. That's a lot of kids, right? And so if you're in that category of having experienced that, it is going to definitely change, in most cases, your thoughts on gun control. And when that generation gets older, if that doesn't change, I think, you know, you could see some big alterations in the Second Amendment future of the United States. Melissa says, my oldest son has been at school twice where a student committed suicide. Even that's brutal. I think because of the school stuff, the coverage of the school stuff, the stories like FSU, I think a younger generation is going to, and it makes sense, just have different opinions about what we should do with gun laws and gun regulation. Even though it still comes back to what are you supposed to do? What's the magic bullet, literally, to fix this? There isn't a lot of great suggestions that would stop these things, but I think they're going to feel that way regardless. All right, we're coming back. Here we go.
LeVar Arrington here. Join us for Draft Night Live on Fox Sports Radio.
Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Just search Fox Sports Radio and make it your next preset on the iHeartRadio app.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. C-H-E-C-K. Check. That's check. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
Filling in the gaps between the New York Times and World Star. This is
what went down this weekend. Easter, it's supposed to be a weekend of friends, family, and faith. And then, obviously that swerve where all of a sudden we're talking about bunnies and eggs and stuff and that side of things. But mostly, Easter is supposed to be a great day where you hang out with your family, right? And we did all of that stuff. We had a great time going over to Courtney's family's house. There was another moment where it got all quiet because it was a time for a prayer before Easter meal is served. And right as it gets quiet for the prayer, her dad had left the television on in the living room, and her dad just watches those war shows all the time. So okay.
The name of the Father, the Son.
They're doing the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And it's like, Stalin refused to back down under the oppression of the military might. And it's like bombs were dropping all over the city and screams were. And I'm like, whoa, this is a weird juxtaposition with the prayer that's going on here. But another thing that was happening around this time is a woman, and this woman right here is the one who's in trouble. She's now going to be headed off to jail for a little while. Why?
What happened?
She was a little jelly. She was very, very jealous, in fact, of her ex. Now, her ex had a new family, and they were moving on without her.
Moving on.
That's right. This 35-year-old woman said, I'm going to get them back. I'm going to get his new woman back. Here's what I'll do. And she said, I'm going to take these chocolate eggs, and I'm going to put some poison in them. And then I'm going to drop them off with a nice little note on their doorstep. And I'll get this woman. If he can't have me, or if he won't have me, he's not going to have her. And I'm going to get this woman. And she drops off at the house. She has a courier drop off this basket with these chocolate eggs in it that were all nicely put together with a beautiful little note. And the woman takes it inside, and she thinks it's just from some nice person. And she holds it out for the kids to eat. And the kids ate the poisoned eggs.
Oh, my God.
And she killed them.
No.
This week. Yes. Yeah, they died as a result of this. One child is dead. 2 family members are in critical condition for this
they
whole
figured
thing.
out this poison thing quick.
I guess so, yeah. They said the woman, Jordelia Barbosa, 35, was arrested for allegedly sending poisoned Easter eggs to the new family of her ex-boyfriend. The 7-year-old boy died in the hospital after eating the chocolate a day later. A mother and her 13-year-old daughter are in critical condition at the hospital because this woman wanted revenge on this family. How crazy is that? Just absolutely bizarre. And I guess they said, what's going on? What could have been the results here? Or what could have led to this? Said, well, we ate these chocolate eggs. Here they are. A jealous ex allegedly sent poisoned chocolate Easter eggs to the home of her love rival, killing a 7-year-old boy and leaving 2 people in critical condition in Brazil. Jordelia Barbosa, 35, purchased the chocolate eggs in a disguise at the supermarket and then spiked them herself before they were delivered to the home of her ex-boyfriend's new partner. And she left a note that said, "With love to Miriam Lira, happy Easter." Just like a nice message so nobody would think anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Little kids eat the chocolates. They fall ill immediately and were sent over to the hospital. And the other 2 are just
messed up.
hanging on. Here's the actual eggs that they sent in this little setup. And it had a little note with it. And it was in a plastic container with these chocolate eggs. And one was on a plate because they started to eat it. And then, bam, all the rest happens to the woman. This all happened, and somebody says deport. This is somebody in Brazil, all right? Where are you going to deport them to? This woman's going to be deported to prison. That's where she's headed to right now. Jordelia Barbosa, the 35-year-old who poisoned these chocolate Easter eggs as an act of revenge. We're going to work in one dispatch real quick. Here we go.
Hello.
Let's go over to, there's a lot of people talking about the Pope. Here is DJ Roxy Fox. Hello. Yeah.
I guarantee you Donald Trump around, he'd be like, "Hey guys, it's me, your favorite president. I run to be Pope. I'll be the best Pope. I have the best hands to take care of all of you.
I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you there, sir. But he's saying if you could run to be Pope, that Trump would try to take over the Pope role and run for Pope. You can't do that. It's not wide open to folks. Unfortunately, they have a really controlled system of picking the next Pope. But we'll see if there's any drama in this whole selection process before the smoke goes up. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
Thank you so much for asking. Coming up on the next episode, there are fans of Nintendo and Mario, and then there are Delulus that now are demanding a higher price for the video game. For some reason, we now have the most exciting and most voted for villains of the Disney franchises. Plus, move over Black Rhinos, there's a new thing that's near extinction tugging at our heartstrings. And plot twist, it's not an animal, nor does it breathe. All that so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on the show, the Pope has passed. We'll talk about how they choose a new pontiff. Plus, Florida could have new drone laws on the way. At 4 o'clock at Sports with Brandon Kravitz. For trivia, it's tickets to the Solar Bears, Orlando City, and...
Skull Mike Squad. So, chat. Story that I saw this weekend. Thinking of planes and this plane at the Orlando airport where the engine caught fire and they had some problems. There was another incident where a woman is on video. You might have seen this weekend. And she's like hitting the button like crazy and trying to shout out to get somebody to help her out on the plane. She's trying to get like a stewardess to come over and address the situation that's happening. And they said there was a mother who was passed out. I don't know if she's sleeping or drunk or whatever. The mom had passed out, and the little girl was walking around with a plastic fork, just stabbing all the people on the plane. And this woman that's recording, or her friend next to her was recording, she just goes, I'm gonna punch this baby in the face. I will. If this baby stabs me with a fork, I'm gonna beat the shit out of her. And they were just really on edge as she's sitting there waiting, and this little girl is sitting there with a fork in her hand, like in a standoff with this woman. And I thought, what would I do? Do I want to punch a 5-year-old girl in the face? No. But if she's going to stab me with a plastic fork because her mother is passed out and not watching her, I'm not just going to let her stab me with a fork. She's going up and down the aisle of the plane, just jabbing people with a plastic fork. I would take the fork from the 5-year-old, go find the mom's seat, and as the mom was sitting, I would stab her with that fork. And when she woke up angry, I'd go, "Didn't like that, did you? That's what your daughter was just doing to everybody on the plane as you're sleeping here." I would have lost it. What would you do in that situation? Do you just sit there politely and let the little wayward girl stab you? Or do you pop her? Just one, bam! Like your parent wouldn't do it, so I'm going to do it. Because I imagine if the woman just comes to and they're like, "That lady just hit your daughter." Like, oh my God, I'm calling the police. But I'm just thinking, I'm not going to get stabbed with a plastic fork. I don't care if it's not going to do any real damage or not. I'll hit a kid. Dan says you disarm the child with a fork. I mean, either way, you're physically grabbing the kid. Right? But this kid is just wandering around, seat to seat, inflicting fork pain on all of the people. I would, at the very least, get that fork from the child. But the flight attendants were nowhere to be found. It was a hoot. Jason says, how do you drop sleep like that and let your kid run wild on a plane? It happens so much. I'm telling you, I would never, with a child on a plane, be able to just conk out like that. Those are the cruise control parents. They're like, it'll all work itself out. My kid will be okay. And that's why you have a 5-year-old who uses the opportunity to just like see what it's like to stab everybody with a fork. It's a sign of the absentee parenting of 2025 that you have these little forkers doing this stuff. Absolutely a sign. All right, we're coming back for the next episode.
Qualifying plan, Pure Talk, wireless by Americans for Americans.
It's the free event you've been waiting for. The Leesburg Bike Fest presented by Progressive, April 25th to 27th. A weekend packed with high-octane fun and rock and roll. Catch headliners Dirty Honey, Lit, Fuel, and Wade Jennings. Experience the Wall of Death, Pro Action Wrestling, 20 local bands, and more. There's something for everyone. Visit LeesburgBikeFest.com today to upgrade your experience with Sonny's Barbecue VIP Pass.
Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Join the show. Send your dispatch now at the News Junkie.
Entertainment and beyond. And you, if you miss any of the show, can always catch up with the podcast, and it's free to get, like you would imagine. The links are available for the iHeartRadio version of the podcast. They pay the bills around here, or anywhere you get your podcasts at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, folks, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
What, am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey!
Smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com. That's the website that he made your big life decisions a little easier to make, because when it comes to those big life decisions, refinancing, buying your first dream home, debt consolidation, starting a business, expanding that business, you got to work with someone who's looking out for you, treating you like a human and a friend, not like a number. And that's That Mortgage Guy Don. And any confusion when it comes to these life decisions, he's available all the time in many different ways to answer your questions. So get the process started today by going to thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
It was a mere 28 years ago, 1997. The cremated remains of Timothy Leary and Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry were launched from a space shuttle, making the very first burial in space happen.
More space than Katy Perry got.
That's right. But
true.
Katy Perry brought a flower with her, or whatever.
She's still fighting. Still fighting all these days after their little journey.
Fighting what? I saw Wendy's
fighting-
apologize. Mad respect.
She's fighting with Wendy's, yeah.
I
Wendy's
thought they,
and
said
Katy
they
Perry.
walked back on it.
Wendy's barely apologized. I liked it. It was like, yeah,
love
okay.
Wendy's.
Whatever. It's stupid.
Whatever they're marking. You think it's one person or there's a whole team? They sit in a round table like, who are we going to start beef with
I
next?
think there's a bunch of people, and they're
love it.
all responsible for whatever they do on that account.
Who's responsible for this bullcocky?
Bullcocky.
According, that's it. That's the phrase the old man said.
Bull
on the
hockey?
Bull hockey.
Oops.
There you go.
All right.
You mixed the bull hockey with the poppycock.
Okay. And that's what
Bull hockey plus poppycock equals
bull cocky.
Thank you. And that's what you have to do when you have so little time. And we have very little time to stop the extinction of the DeLorean. What the hell, man? Great Scott, I mean. 40 years on from the film's release, there are now 303 DeLorean DMC-12s left on the roads. And everyone is in full panic. Because I guess we want these back. Around 9,000 rolled off the DeLorean Motor Company assembly line in Northern Ireland in 1981. This also was the man who... Didn't he get in trouble for money fraud or something like that when he tried to push the DeLorean?
I don't know.
Do you not remember that fact about the guy who created the DeLorean, that he got into huge trouble?
There was drugs
maybe that
involved
was it.
somehow. DMC or something was the name of the company. That's all I
DeLorean
remember.
Motor Company, yeah.
Yeah.
So a deal had been in place to save the firm until John DeLorean was arrested on the drug trafficking. But now I guess only 303 are currently taxed for use on public roads, and they are now deeming it on the brink of extinction. Further, 114 have a statutory off-road notification, or SORN. This is new to me, meaning they're likely to be gathering dust in garages or elsewhere from public highways. So to that I say, let's save those DeLoreans before they're gone forever, like the animals that ran so they could walk. Great story. You guys ready for some more fun stuff?
Sure.
Hello. Super Mario Brothers. And the fans of Mario Kart World, they're so excited that they now want Nintendo, and this is the first I've ever read, they want them to raise the price.
Is that expensive enough?
That's wild to me. It was a 15-minute direct, gave fans a better look at the new and improved Mario Kart game and the world in and of itself. Set to launch on Switch 2 June 5th. I guess if we get the Switch 2 at some point. And people were so excited with all the new features, like you could visit Yoshi's Diner, collect a drive-through meal, unlock a themed outfit. They say you can now off-road, but I don't know about you guys, but until you get used to the joystick, I am constantly off-roading in the Mario Kart game. But they were so pumped about how great it looks, some fans are asking for Nintendo to raise the price. It's still a steep price, but damn, this is by far the biggest Mario Kart ever. I'm blown away, says one Reddit user.
I thought that the prices for the Nintendo games for the new Switch were already a little elevated.
They're insane. Now they're saying the games they're going to release on Switch 2 make those also very high in the price mark. Mario Kart World, this new one, will be €75. If I'm doing my conversion, it's going to be 80-something bucks for us USD. And I guess some fans love it so much that they're willing to pay more. So tariffs be damned.
I keep getting that ad that says, like, have you downloaded a game from Nintendo.com? You could be owed some monies. Like, they have like a little mailbox money thing going on.
Nintendo. So, like, directly to a PC or your device?
No, to the Switch, I think.
All right. Good.
Yeah, you should check that out.
And I will leave you all with this. Congratulations to the subject of this song right here. Wait for it. That one. The bad guy in Lion King.
Scar.
Scar is right. And he is the most popular Disney villain. You did it.
Really?
Most popular in each generation is the Horned King for boomers, Oogie Boogie for millennials, Ursula's eels. And
not even
Ursula lost out to her own eels?
Yep, Flotsam and Jetsam for the Gen Zers.
Nice.
But overall, it was Scar from The Lion King. On the Boob Tube, we have the streaming premiere of The Return on Paramount Plus, American Idol, top 14 are revealed, The Voice, Road to the Playoffs on NBC, and you can catch Chris Hayes and Treaty Oak Revival on Kimmel. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. But most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. There he is. Old school clip from the show.
I made it say bull cocky.
Oh, you
fused
them together?
Bull cocky.
Rolls right off the tongue.
I did see Joe Biden posted for Easter, and he said, we wish everybody celebrating today a peaceful and joyful Easter. I don't know why he took this photo like this, though. It's kind of a weird
looks photoshopped in. He looks like he wasn't there.
He's like,
zoom in on this.
All these kids, I'm assuming, like, kids in the Biden family, I would guess, are on the stairs at this house, and there's like an infant, and some younger people, teens in early 20s, and a cat. There's a cat, and then there's Biden, and it just kind of looks strange. He's at the top of the stairs, just kind of poking in. It looks like a cardboard cutout of Biden is behind them. I don't know what they were thinking.
Is it at all possible that he is not there?
I don't know. He posted this tweet, so I would assume that he's saying this is a actual photo. Oh, his wife is here on the stairs.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's seemingly like above the stairs.
And he's the only one wearing a suit to Easter?
This is so weird.
He
absolutely
bizarre,
was photoshopped in.
That's a bizarre photo, because I'm trying to think the way it is.
Photo that he had flashed like right in his face.
Maybe he took the picture. They wanted to put him in.
Is he sitting on a stair?
Right, so everyone knows they show the stairs from the front, and the kids are sitting up and down the stairs, and then Biden's in the back. But it kind of just looks like a cardboard cutout of Biden was popped up there. It doesn't make sense where he's at compared to the people on the stairs. Somebody says, is he sitting crisscross applesauce? I don't know if you can do that at his age, but that's a strange photo. They're celebrating
I'm half
Easter.
his age, and I can't do that.
Yeah, it's weird. I'll have to put this up on See It Now so you can take a look at that and see what you think. Give us a shout. Send a dispatch over to thenewsjunkie.com. When we return, there was a situation in Los Angeles this weekend. I don't know what the hell was going on here. Somebody took a chainsaw and just started cutting down trees in the city. And I started to try to think, I'm like, all right, let's play the internet comment game. Is this person on team red or team blue? What's the motivation for a human being going, I'm going to go through the city and start chopping down trees. I'm going to chainsaw these trees down to the ground and then haul ass. The person was riding a bicycle too, of all things. I have no idea what could have driven this, but we're going to dive into it and see what the motivation was with the unidentified tree-cutting vandal on a bicycle. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
What's going on? I hope your drive right now is a smooth one, and it should be on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Looks like no major incident in your way. Of course, your usual delay, I-4 eastbound, approaching both World Drive and State Road at 535, but westbound is clear. East and westbound of the 408 as well. North and southbound lanes of the Turnpike, as well as the Greenway and 429 toll. If you have any incident to report, call our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Road trip? Let's go. But first, drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where we only pour premium Valvoline oil. No appointment needed. Save today at VIOC.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. We'll get you back on the road in no time.
Sunnyside drains.
Water is backing up from my drains, and there's a nasty smell coming from them.
Ooh-wee, that is bad.
Wait, how are you smelling it too?
You should call someone about that.
I should have called Frank Gay. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your drains are backed up, you need a highly skilled technician who's not afraid to get a little dirty. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Look, we get it. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy rant tacos and that suspiciously overpriced coffee you keep pretending is an experience. Win a cool $1,000 just for listening to us. That's $1,000 in your hand. Real money. Cold, hard cash. Use it to pay bills or blow it on something completely irresponsible. Hey, we don't judge. We just give you $1,000 and let you make bad decisions. Listen to win or...
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Just yelling at C-Lane for telling me about a People.com article. And I was like, People.com? Because Courtney will be sitting on the couch and she'll always read some like ridiculous, like some vile story, you know? Mother butchers entire family, blah, 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 blah. And she'll be like, this is horrible. And I'll say, let me guess, People.com? Yep. So unfollow People.com. It's making you miserable. Even on the show, if we do a story like that, it's, slide right by onto the next thing. It'd be like, young kid eats his entire family to escape 76 years of brutal torture at the hands of grandma. Now, how this kid endured 76 years of torture and is still a kid, and how his grandma is still alive, ignore those things. But you get the point. It's like a fire hose of misery. Somebody says, we have to get a GoFundMe for shoes for Sean. I've got shoes. Why in my own studio should I be wearing shoes? How is it going to change your perception of me in any way? You know what? Maybe it is. Tomorrow I'll wear shoes. Is it going to change anything? Are you going to be happier if I wear shoes tomorrow? What is it going to change about your day? Should I wear a suit? Should I put on a whole suit in the studio? Shoes, a button down, a tie. That ain't making anything better. I'm in my own house, in my studio. I'm not putting any shoes on. Kiss my ass. This is how news should be done. Truly. You feel the core of Earth in your bare feet, and it rises up through your body, and then you just deliver the news to the people. Okay? Did Clint Eastwood die today? No, but check back tomorrow. Check back tomorrow. Because that one ain't too far away. Last time I saw Clint Eastwood, that dude looked like he had been rebooted and an error had been introduced into the software. Clint Eastwood looked like he didn't know where he was going, or where he had been. He looked like dust was coming out of his body. That man looked old. People tired of seeing your toes? Just call Moe's. Why would you be tired? How is this affecting you? Just pretend I have skin shoes on. All right, doesn't that solve the problem? Watch the show and pretend that I have skin shoes on. Each day, I come in here and I lace up my skin shoes, I put them on my feet, and I tackle the day. Then I'm not barefoot, just wearing skin shoes. Feral Kitten says we should get Sean pink bunny slippers. I don't need bounce shoes. I don't need pink bunny slippers. Or when you're in your house, aren't you barefoot? I know you are. Most of you aren't walking around your house with shoes and socks on. No way. There's no way. Love Clint Eastwood movies? Some of them. Sometimes I feel like Clint Eastwood just turns on the camera and then just starts rambling about the olden days. There's a couple of movies he's made where I'm like, ugh. Like an unedited YouTube vlog. We're just watching an old Clint Eastwood. All right, we're coming back.
$251-259-8000. Solid Bite. Life-changing dentistry.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Mills Air and Business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier Factory Authorized Dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit MillsAir.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GREEN. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Radio 104.1.
Forever at the crossroads between viral news and total chaos.
The three best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. Learn more about the show and hang out with us over at thenewsjunkie.com. Pope Francis has died on what they're calling Easter Monday at 88 years old. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not very broken up about it. I didn't have a lot of close ties or associations with the Pope. I don't know.
That's why I didn't reach out to you this morning.
I know. I appreciate you leaving me off on that one. Yeah.
It's the most played Pope on the show. Tell you
This
that.
guy, he was big in the clips world because we have the I Would Like to Hear You Sing clip of the Pope. But otherwise, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he really left a huge mark. Maybe he did. Maybe he was a huge figure in your life.
He was singing.
But the whole process starts anew.
Weird to think that a pope, I mean, I would have to like chat GPT this to see what the consensus would be on which popes have left the biggest mark on.
I feel like it's the one we grew up with.
Pope John Paul was the one that I think, in my estimation, just like kind of going off of vibes, which is maybe not the most accurate way to do things, but I think it was Pope John Paul because I feel like he had a good rep. I think some people like Pope John Paul.
I think so too.
There are so many popes.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Like if you go to the Wikipedia article on the list of presidents of the United States, you know, there's only a handful.
Yeah.
When you go to the one that's the list of popes, it's huge.
It's long.
And there's so many. There's one pope that was elected pope and died before he could even like start.
Oh, brutal.
Like he literally served as pope for 0 days. He got elected and served as pope for 0 days. There have been so many that it's hard to go, well, which of them really did the most poping? You know?
Who poped it out?
In terms of popes, he actually had a pretty long run, 12 years. You know, if you look at the whole like timeline of popes, that's a decent amount of time for one of these popes. And I did see some things where they were calling him woke pope. I don't really know why. I think he talked about climate change a bunch.
Talked about
immigration
as well, but not in what I mention all the time. But I do believe it was noted that he was a little bit more lax as far as letting the gays
into heaven or into the church.
Or heaven. I don't know. That was something that was mentioned in all of the things that the news is talking about, highlighting his career as pope.
Well, I think this is them announcing that the Pope had died. I think it's the dearest brothers and sisters, he said, with deep sorrow, I must announce the death of our Holy Father Francis. This was about 9 a.m. or so. At 7:35 this morning, he says, the Bishop of Rome, Francis, returned to the house of the Father. And so that's the actual announcement from the Catholic Church. This guy was Cardinal Kevin Farrell. That's the guy who was giving the announcement. That must mean he's pretty high on the food chain if he announces that the Pope is dead. I don't know if Kevin Farrell's up there in the running for being the next Pope himself.
Do they have a list of that? People that are up for this spot?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, there must be, right? There must be some front runners in the Pope world where they go, this cardinal right here got a real good chance of taking over the whole Pope job. So we'll take a look at that. But that's how it came down today. And now they do the whole process here. It's interesting that it happened on Easter, I guess. But either way, rites and rituals begin. What happens next? Well, there's 3 main stations or moments that occur, first in his home and then at St. Peter's Basilica, and then the place of burial. So they have the declaration of death. That starts things out. And then they have the sealing of the coffin, where they close and seal the coffin in the presence of other senior cardinals. They put a white cloth over the Pope's face. A bag containing coins minted during his papacy is placed in the coffin. That's where they put the coins, along with a 1-page written account of his papacy known as a rogito, a word indicating the official deed. It's read aloud by a master of liturgical ceremonies and then rolled up and slipped inside a tube and placed inside the coffin. Man, there is so much pomp and circumstance.
A lot.
To all of
I
this
can't
stuff.
think of anything that has more.
Yeah. Even when presidents die in the U.S., and they got like little things that they do, and you put the shoes on the horse backwards.
Well, when Queen Elizabeth died, and we kind of knew that was pending or impending, that we had heard the stories of how the BBC had all these protocols and how they would like have to change their clothes to dark and do all these things, and then of course the royal family themselves have all these different things that have been for generations and generations, but I don't think that's enough to match the Pope stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because it feels like those are all things that were done before modern times. Like, you could just send a tweet out now and be like, Pope dead. All right,
yeah,
okay.
You said they have to mourn for 9 days, and I was like, I wonder if that's because that's how long it took to get everybody to the Vatican, to get the news out and then get the people that could be possibly up next, get them back to town.
So what's the inflation, or the price difference? Do we now mourn for 9 seconds?
It's got to be faster, I would think, but they're not going to speed it up in the Pope world, not at all. I'm trying to see who's going to be in the running for the next Popehood or the next saintly Pope. And they said the next Pope will most likely be somebody right in between a moderate conservative and a hardline traditionalist. They're doing this based on the ideological makeup of the folks who are up there in the Catholic Church. So it won't be a woke Pope if that is right. And I've seen some things that highlight some of the people who are in the running here, but I don't know which ones are fake and which ones are real. So I'll find something more properly sourced, and we'll see if we can get some names out there if that is of interest. But now, let's talk about what happened this weekend in L.A., and I'm so confused by what the motivations would be of a person who did this. Let's listen, and here's ABC 7.
Some piece of you-know-what decided that they're going to go around last night chopping down trees all over downtown LA.
At least 5 trees in downtown LA were butchered over the weekend, leaving residents confused.
Well, yeah,
what
of
are you
course.
doing to your city? I mean, anybody that does this is an act of destruction.
This is one of those things that you think everybody's on the same page for. Like, there's not a lot of controversy at the beach cleanup. People go to the beach and they're like, we should have clean beaches. And everybody, team blue, team red, are like, yeah, we should have clean beaches. I would think people would be like, hey, having trees in the city is nice. It provides shade, and it's a good aesthetic. And who's the anti-tree person? Where's that coming from? Is my question here.
I mean, I haven't chopped the tree in my lifetime, but for someone to get down that many trees, nobody stopped him.
No, it's big too.
Unless he's that strong, he's just doing 2 chops and moving along.
They said he had a chainsaw and he might have been on a bike. And these are big, giant trees that for some reason this person just chopped down in downtown Los Angeles.
Downtown LA.
At least 5 trees in downtown LA were butchered over the weekend, leaving residents confused.
What are you doing to your city? I mean, anybody that does this is an act of destruction.
Media Musave has lived downtown since 2017. He's also behind the popular Instagram account DTLA Insider.
Nice.
Okay.
He thought
I knew he had to be something rubbed me the wrong way about the way he was talking to that reporter. I was like, there's something that he's in for himself here.
Inside job? Did he cut down the trees?
No, I don't think inside job. I just thought, like, he doesn't seem like your normal just bystander interviewee.
Yeah,
it's like,
but he
got
broke the news.
He's got the DTLA Instagram.
He's right. I agree with him. I think this is very weird and ridiculous in so many ways, but I don't know who to blame. Whose party is this person a part of? Or is it just an insane person with a chainsaw?
Who hates trees?
Yeah, who is the anti-tree people? Who's the people who go, get trees. I hate them.
Trees were part of a city cleanup.
Started getting pictures from many different people in the influencer space, downtown space, saying, did you see what they did last night? And I realized this was a little more malicious than, just the city chopping trees down.
They were spotted at Grand Avenue and Wells Fargo
3
Center,
in a row.
Olympic and Figueroa, Broadway and Cesar Chavez, and right here at Grand Avenue and 5th Street.
Why?
According to City Council member Isabel Jarano, this was an illegal act.
Yeah.
LAPD Central Division says this.
You had to follow up with someone?
If it's not, there's a problem. If you're like, well, it turns out you can legally cut all the trees downtown if you'd like to.
That'd be a hell of a loophole. A hell of a loophole.
Who is this? Is this a biker? Is it because they said the person might have been on a bike? Is this a biker who's saying, I can't properly cycle in this neighborhood because a tree is in the way? I'm trying to figure out
all
what
the trees are in the way. Did you see the footage?
Yeah,
you can't cycle through that.
They just knocked him down on the street. Who is the person who does this? I don't think this is a normal person. I think it's got to be a real weird one. It can't be like a pro-environment person, okay? Because like I'm somebody who's like for the environment and that kind of stuff. I don't think they would cut down a tree. But then I don't hear people who are like right-wing people saying, hey, the trees need to come down. I don't see that either.
Tree massacre started at around 1:30 Saturday morning. Detectives are looking for camera footage.
The scope and scale that they did this to is just a little bit shocking. I mean, we're in a high-density urban area. Some cameras, somebody had to see something had to catch something.
Yeah, what's going on here? What's the motivation?
Also, is it too late to kind of just put them back together and wrap something around maybe the roots?
I think that might be it. I think that might be it. Yeah, you can't really glue these suckers together, unfortunately.
No, you put them back together and then you tie the yellow ribbon around, right? That was all
Some miracle grow on them.
Let me see here. All right, this one says, chainsaw-wielding suspect cuts down several trees during overnight vandalism spree. They're calling it a vandalism spree.
Well, it is.
Is it?
It's destructive.
All right, this is the same story that we just went to. I want details on what this person was doing this in the name of, because it can't just be random. It's got to be something else that's going on here. Trees cut down an apparent act of vandalism, this says. Same kind of thing, same story. And nobody's got the suspect so far. But it's L.A. There's got to be cameras absolutely everywhere out there. Well, we'll see what you think about this. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Which side is to blame? Who is to blame for all of this? Right now, have you guys seen, I don't know if we'll have time to do this here, but have you seen that they did a half marathon over the weekend in China? They did a half marathon.
Okay.
People love to do these things. I don't necessarily understand the phenomenon that much, but people love to get out there and pay to run. And they did a half marathon.
My cousin loves to pay to run.
There's people who are just so into
Don't
this.
get it.
It's crazy. And there's a lot of money in the running world too. But
just to run. Wild.
In this situation in China, in Yizhong,
nailed it.
Yizhuang,
okay.
Yizhuang, Yizhuang is where this happened in China. That's near Beijing, I guess. And for the first time ever, they had robots running in the marathon. They let robots. The robots, I don't know if they had to pay.
It doesn't seem very fair.
They pit humans against robots, and that's where we enter the equation.
Who won?
Well, you're going to find out, Jules. That is something that we're going to discuss, and we're going to go over this, so hang out with us. This is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. It is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
One more time.
I was wrong, Angel. We can auction off one more thing.
Thank you. That's
okay.
Be a promo.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your ride right now is a smooth and safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Seems like we're incident-free east and westbound on I-4 at this time, and the same does go for Colonial Drive and the Beach Line. East and west of the 408 is also moving along fine. Thankfully, north and south of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway and the 429 toll. Thankfully, no issues on OBT or John Young Parkway right now either. Our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Spring into deals with fresh savings at Lowe's. Right now, get 4 Stay Green or Premium 2 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. Lowe's, we help, you save. While supplies last, selection and availability vary by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Offer valid 4/17/25 to 4/30/25.
At Florida Prepaid, we're here for all the grinders, the go-getters, the gifted, the talented, the unique, the spirited. We're here for the well-to-do, the just getting started, the budgeters, the big spenders, and everyone in between. Because we believe that every child deserves higher education, and our goal is to help families save for it by making it simpler and more affordable than ever before. So every child has the opportunity to shine. Plans start at just $29 a month. Open enrollment ends April 30th.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes them different. Their vans are fully stocked, so when you call, their fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, they have you covered right when you need it most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door today or visit them online at PrecisionGarageDoor.com. Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
Thank you for making Mercedes-Benz of South Orlando one of the premier luxury dealerships in Central Florida.
We are the official dealer of luxury, providing the ultimate VIP experience at a price you can afford. Call Monica Ventura at 689-319-7680. That's 689-319-7680. We guarantee you will be treated like VIP and nothing less. Across from the mall at Millennia.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio offer at 321-259-8000. Solid Bite, life-changing dentistry.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Let's go back. Folks, do not, I repeat, do not miss the next two stories. Banger territory. Wait till you hear. There's one that just popped up on my radar that I cannot wait to get into. And maybe the most Australian story ever. It's so glorious. You are going to absolutely love this story. We're going to do that in just a minute here, okay? Here we go.
Visit millsair.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With that mortgage guy, Don.com.
The future of the NFL is getting written with the first pick right now. The 2025 NFL Draft. Catch Jay Glazer alongside former Jets GM Joe Douglas, College Football Hall of Famer LeVar Arrington, and Fox Sports lead college football reporter Jenny Tabb.
Hi, this is Jay Glazer.
LeVar Arrington here. Join us for Draft Night Live on Fox Sports Radio.
Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Just search Fox Sports Radio and make it your next preset on the iHeartRadio app.
GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GREEN. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along. This is
Rocked my world. Looking at a story during the break, I don't even know if I can recover. I don't know if I can keep doing this show after seeing this. This is the most Australian story we've ever had on the show, number one. All right. Second of all, the world of twins is a weird world that we have explored quite a bit.
Twins are weird, man.
Twins are strange. Sabrina has twin sisters, and she knows what this is like, what the experience is like.
Yes.
And the level of connection that happens between two twin brains is a very bizarre one.
Even identical. They're more intense. Same sack.
There's something going on there, right? Like just they're where they're different than we are, I think. This story is so strange. We're going to tackle this together, right? It's about these ladies right here and what happened to them after a carjacking of all things. So are you guys ready? Because we're going on a journey. Here we go.
Witnesses are recounting some of the drama that unfolded on the Sunshine Coast this afternoon. Two sisters have told how their mother and man raced to help when the carjacked SUV rolled on Steve Irwin Way, only to find the gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck. Here's some of what they had to say.
All right, so at first I was like, this happened on Steve Irwin Way?
Crikey.
All right, okay, this is a very Australian story. But this is the weird part. The twins in the interview just take this in. Here we go.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum. And he went up there and he was coming back down towards us. And he goes, run, he's got a gun. And our heart started to pound. And I said, well, Mum, where's Mum? And poor Mum was stuck up there.
What the hell is happening here?
I want to be very clear. My twin siblings do not do this. But I have seen this so much. And I knew it before it even started. As soon as you had even shown the still, before playing the clip, I'm like, they're matching. They're going to do the talk at the same time thing.
Is it a bit that identical twins do?
Bit is a weird word because I think this is just their lifestyle.
But they're doing this on purpose, no?
But know that they're not even looking at each other. So we used, when you were in studio, every once in a while, if I could be right in front of you, Sean, I'd be able to say the same thing that you're saying by looking and listening. But the fact that they're staring straight at the reporter, and there have been so many TV twins like this, that they wear the same outfit and then they complete each other's sentences, and this is how their life is forever.
There's so much going on here. There's the juxtaposition of there was a carjacking that took place.
Steve Irwin Lane.
There's these two women who are wearing like little bunny rabbits on their outfits for Easter, and they're matching. And then this way that they're talking is just unbelievably bizarre to me. But they're keeping it together.
Our heart started to pound, and I said, well, Mum, where's Mum?
I can't.
And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, are you all right? Because he had all blood all over his face.
I couldn't do that if I was sitting right next to you guys. No way could I talk like that.
I wouldn't want to.
In tandem,
this is pissing me off.
It's bothering me as well.
Zephyr's Biker says, I feel like I'm really drunk and I have double vision right now.
Why did the reporter pause and be like, can we just do one at a time? This is a lot.
Why are we doing this? This is so bizarre.
And he goes, I'll shoot you. She goes, hey, I'm here to help. And Mum distracting him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran.
I can't take it.
It's giving me so much anxiety as it continues.
It's hard to understand what the story even is because I'm now so focused on
I think the carjacker talked to them for 2 minutes and then drove into an effing wall.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe abandoned the crime.
Find their social media. This is what they post all the time.
You think so?
Mom is doing this, and one mumbles, but then catches up. Same line.
I don't like that at all. Bootsy says
there's twins
this is
out there who hate this.
Oh, I'm sure. Like Bootsy says, this is so distracting. I can't even listen to the story. Me either.
I don't know what happened. Or care. I don't care.
There was a carjacking, and the identical twins started talking, and then everything turned into nothingness. No idea what they said after that. How absolutely strange is that? But these two ladies are. I do have some names on them. See if you can locate them. Bridget Powers and Paula Powers. Okay, it says they speak in sync after witnessing an armed carjacking in Queensland. And they said the twins, Bridget Powers and Paula Powers, it's the twins in question, explain how their mom came face to face with a carjacker. The pair was wearing the same exact outfits as they spoke in sync to the reporter.
And they've been doing this for over a decade.
Have they?
You search the name, first 3 videos. We'll start from the bottom. April 2014. The twins are truly and fully identical. 2021, 2 of a kind. Australia's favorite twins are back. And in 2023, new twist for the famous Aussie twins.
Oh, really?
So this is the gimmick.
Do they do? Let me see. Here's them in 2014. Do they talk like that all the time?
It's all mine.
Are they on their bikes?
Yeah.
Same outfit,
Twins
same helmet.
Paula and Bridget Powers live on Queensland's Sunshine Coast.
Well, I love going fast. Do you? Yes, I love going fast.
They're 32 and
this is what they do all the time? They just talk like this in tandem?
Hardly ever been apart.
Yeah.
There's just one time when they were 17.
Only when one of us were in hospital.
Okay, I couldn't. No way, man. Holy cow.
Boundaries are important.
They've
even
been doing
for
this
identical twins.
for over a decade. They've been speaking at the same time. Oh, God. All right, there you are. What do you think about these twins? Do you like them or are they annoying? Let us know with your dispatch to thenewsjunkie.com.
I don't like them.
Very strange.
Don't like them
All right,
at all.
let's go in another direction because I teased this. Let's pay it off, baby. There was a half marathon this weekend, and that's not very special. There's lots of half marathons all the time, in fact. But in Beijing, it was a half marathon with humans, and for the first time, robots. They had robots out there at the half marathon. And some of it was impressive, some not so much. Let's go to the tape. Here we go. All right, here's one of the robots running in the half marathon. That one's not bad. That's pretty impressive. And the robot clocked in at, tell me if this is good or bad. I don't know. Half marathon, 2 hours and 40 minutes is how long the robot did in the Beijing half marathon.
You're asking the wrong two people.
2 hours and 40 minutes, more than twice the time of the men's race winner. So in the humans versus robots battle,
the average finish time for a half marathon is generally considered to be around 2 hours and 10 minutes. This can vary based on age, gender, fitness level.
All right. So the average person can still beat the robot in the half marathon. And some of them, there was all different kinds of these robots. Here's some more action. Look at the little guy. It's a little tiny one. 20 humanoid robots competed with the humans. Some of them are really cute. The one at the beginning is like, oh, here it is right here. This guy is adorable. It's like a little kid-sized robot.
And he could have kicked their asses.
This thing was
fast walk.
Oh, and I think some of them had some trouble. Let me see. Okay. Is this it? This might be the little guy having some trouble, or maybe not. Let me see. Here he is. All right, they're cheering him on. The little guy's cruising. He's going about the pace that a human is going in the same half marathon. This is the one
way to bond with robots, make them feel like losers.
Oh, this is the one that feels like a loser. Right here, check it out. This one. All right. Okay. Oh, that's all right.
What the hell is that thing?
That is that person we know that used to go out drinking who clearly started at 9 a.m.
They do look a little drunk. Robot walking has not been perfected
just yet. The first robot that you showed that went through the finish line looked like if a person ran like that, they were running to a bathroom and they were clenching,
like
clenching
your butt?
a poop. Yeah.
These ones are not perfect in terms of just the walking game so far. All different sizes and heights of these robots.
That little one that they were just chasing looks like me chasing around my kid, and he's just pointing at stuff.
Get over here, Jackson. And is this the crash out? Yeah, here's the sad moment, I think. Hold on. I don't want to let you. Oh, his head fell off and everything. One more time. All right, here you go.
Also, what I would look like if I was trying a half marathon.
His little robot's going along, and then he falls, and his head pops off. It's just absolutely brutal to behold, but it makes me feel kind of good because they're not kicking our ass in the physical element of running just yet.
Yeah,
they're
give
not
that robot
far.
a gun.
Yeah, the gun's still going to be frightening, but at least we can outrun most of them for now, or the average person can. I don't even know if I can. There they go. Robots versus humans in the half marathon that they just did in Beijing, China. What a time to be alive. All right, let's work in a dispatch or two. Let's have you join us with your opinions on the show. Tanya says, this is just so odd. It is a very bizarre thing, but it's kind of interesting to see that kind of develop. And they built robots first to sort of be like the Boston Dynamics one is in the shape of a dog, to be not bipedal, but would that be quadrupedal? Like,
I think so, yeah.
On four, like quadrupedal instead of bipedal as humans are on two legs. And now they're just really making the leaps in the world of making these robots bipedal and then giving them what would be a more human-like gait to their walk. If you don't know what that is, it's like just the form. When you see a robot moving, it doesn't move very human-like until it does. And that's what they're kind of getting to here eventually. All right, let's go over to, here is Bloodmouth talking about Roblox and kids. All right.
Hey, Sean, I was listening to the podcast from last week today, and you're talking about the kids on Roblox and all that. My daughter's 14 now, but she was 10. She was on Roblox, and I thought that I had put the restrictions in so she couldn't chat with anybody.
All right, if you're wondering what he's talking about, because this is out of nowhere, a story last week was about a 10-year-old girl who I think was kidnapped by a grown-ass man who was chatting her up on Roblox. And we began talking about how...
Was she actually kidnapped or was it attempted?
I don't know, and I'd like that question answered if you don't mind. So can you look up Roblox 10-year-old or something? Because I don't exactly remember those details. I thought she was kidnapped, and I thought that they found her okay. But they did meet each other in the world of Roblox, and we talked about parenting in an age where your kids...
Nope, she was.
She was kidnapped?
Kidnapped.
Yeah, a 10-year-old California girl kidnapped by man she met on Roblox.
And it says she's okay, right?
I think. The creators even responded.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they wanted to make sure that they were getting out ahead of this because parents are scared, and I don't blame them. So that's what he's talking about.
She found a way around it, and she left out a journal one day, and it was like open to a page, and my wife was cleaning up the room and just saw it open to the page, and she was talking about, it was just right there. She wasn't snooping, but she was writing about...
Hang on, bud. All right? You don't have to couch that. If your daughter, who is 10 years old, has a diary, and as a parent, you want to take a peek if it's out there, there's nothing wrong with doing that, I don't think. You're a kid, and you're trying to make sure they're safe and everything's fine in their world. You're not doing it for some nefarious reason. If I had a 10-year-old, I think I would be reading their diary. I'm sorry.
Well, you better not get caught, because that's a little invasion of privacy.
I know that people think that, but I think as a parent, it's okay to look. It's all right for you. It's not okay for...
Once you see that there's nothing that puts them in danger, are you still reading? Like,
not regularly. No.
Like, if you see they're now talking about the boy that they like.
No.
I would... Weird...
I would take a peek. I would take a peek to make sure that everything was fine, and then I would leave it alone. And then if I looked a couple of times, different, times over a year or something, and I saw that everything seemed to be on the up and up, then I would probably back off and leave it alone a little bit. But I would be okay with you looking at your daughter's diary just to make sure everything's all right.
Talking to some older boy on this Roblox thing, so I got on there and logged on with her stuff and made her get me in and just waited for him to say something to me. And I honestly don't even remember what I said, but I went off on this guy and basically threatened to kill him if he ever came near my family or any of that other stuff. So we never heard from him again, and Roblox got deleted, and they still don't get on that kind of stuff to this day. So that was my solution. Don't know if it was necessarily smart, but hey, it was a pretty emotional reaction.
All right.
Have a good one, guys.
There you go. Thank you, Bloodmouth. Appreciate the dispatch. You are next. Send yours. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Fire off a dispatch right now. We will talk about a woman on a plane before jury duty, and it's not the flight that caught on fire.
Oh.
Fortunately for her, I guess. But it is another story that had a lot of people talking this weekend, and I loved it. I thought it was very, very interesting. So we'll examine that together. We also got jury duty on the way. In fact, that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s.
In Sunday's opener, Best of 7 series continues Wednesday. A pair of UCF football players will miss the upcoming season with injuries. Offensive lineman Justin Royce and wideout Day Farmer each need surgery. And Italy's top soccer league postponed all their games today out of respect to...
School Mike Squad, what do you think? Should we go over this Nancy Mace video? Are you initiated? Are you in the know? The politician, Nancy Mace, she had an encounter with somebody at a store this weekend that's gone viral. Should we get into that? We've got the video of that. Celine's working it up. Nancy Mace. We've got lots of Pope talk we can get deeper on if we need to. But should we get into this? The Nancy Mace video, they said she was cussing out a constituent. She posted this online herself. It said, some unhinged lunatic, a man wearing Daisy Dukes at a makeup store, got in my face today. Dems are nuts, so I went off and I won't be backing down. I hold the line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Try me, says Nancy Mace, which sounds exhausting. I only hold the line about 12 hours a day. Then I, get your sleep in. Then I'm not holding the line for a while. She's holding the line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Mace accused the person of harassing her. Then they said, where were you? You could have attended over a dozen town halls last year. Oh, you know what I think this is? I think this is like the rage circle jerk of, why aren't you doing town halls? And then all the people who didn't vote for you to begin with have you do a town hall so they can rage about Trump. And then they just at the town hall. And if you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And then if you don't have the town halls because it's a setup for these, protest videos, then they go, why aren't you doing a town hall? You should be held, your feet should be held to the fire by your constituents. Which, okay, but if you're the politician, are you scheduling a town hall when you know that people who didn't vote for you to begin with are just going to show up there and yell at you? I don't know if I would. Maybe I would have fun with it, though. What do we think about her? Nancy Mace? Yay or nay? Michael says it all went south when she said she votes for gay rights. Yeah, I guess she said she voted for gay marriage resolution twice. And that didn't make things go smoothly with this person and Daisy Dukes. Who's wearing Daisy Dukes, bro? Shane, no way. No way. Let me check that. I'll be back. I don't see it. I see a story from a little while ago saying that the White House is looking for a new Secretary of Defense, but I don't see anything confirming that Pete Hegseth is out. So if you see that, send it to me. Because I know what happened there. They were talking about all sorts of stuff on Signal, the app, and they were in these encrypted chats, and they were even sharing war plan information. And then some heads rolled when he realized some of the people that worked with him were using the press to dunk on him, and he fired them. And now those people are talking behind the scenes to reporters. And they're talking about more Signal chats where more discussion was going on, including with some family members about strategic planning. Yeah, I'm putting you up. But I haven't seen anything saying that he's out. That would be kind of surprising if that were the case. Usually the Trump administration circles the wagons. They don't want to take any L's or what they perceive to be L's. But let us know what you think. Okay, I'm going to look a little deeper. We'll come back in 1 minute.
Locations to serve you. All factory rebates to dealer. Negative equity refinance.
Don't get suckered into the same old free phone game by Big Wireless. There is a better way. Pure Talk, my sponsor, my wireless company, has a better offer. The brand new free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan for $35 a month. You get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 15 gigs of data, all on America's most dependable 5G network. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Pure Talk for your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan. Pure Talk, wireless by Americans for Americans.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
New Year's resolution is to sell your home? Get a guaranteed cash offer today at thenicklygroup.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row. It's
the country. Some interesting stories there for sure. We'll also get to you. You join us on the show with what we call dispatches. Those are available over on thenewsjunkie.com. Ran on YouTube says, NPR is reporting the White House is preparing to replace Secretary of Defense Hegseth, Pete Hegseth, which if you don't know who that is, a lot of people probably don't. He's the current Secretary of Defense, and he's the guy who was in those chats, like signal chats with a bunch of people when we were bombing the Houthis. And they were like,
he has a drink. He drinks, right, or something?
There were stories about him. He used to be a drinker. I don't know if he still drinks. I don't know that part about it. But he was messaging along in these group chats, and they're like doing emojis as the bombs were dropping on the Houthis. And they said, you shouldn't be sharing this over here. So there was a whole big backlash. Some heads rolled. And then now it looks like people are trying to take him down. And the story from NPR says, the White House is looking to replace Pete Hegseth as defense secretary. And I'll get to the response in a moment. But the White House has begun the process of looking for a new Secretary of Defense, according to a U.S. official who is not authorized to speak publicly. NPR has reached out to the White House for comment. This comes as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth continues to find himself mired in controversy. NPR has also confirmed with the same official that Hegseth shared details of last month's Yemen strikes with his wife and brother in a signal chat on his personal phone.
This guy's telling everybody.
Minutes after being updated by a senior U.S. military official. And by the way, if this is any sort of classified information, you shouldn't be sharing it with his family members on some app. It's ridiculous. But then they responded and they said, this is the press secretary for the White House. This NPR story is, all caps, fake news, based on one anonymous source who has clearly no idea what they're talking about. As the president said this morning, he stands strongly behind the Secretary of Defense, Hegseth. So who knows? It looks like they're saying that is not true, but we'll keep an eye on the story for sure. All right, here we go. It's time, friends. Let me get this ready. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO. 800-CALL-MO. Or go to justcallmo.com. A bunch of stories to talk about in jury duty, but really quick sidebar. I keep getting sent this. Did you guys see any more of the Coachella action on the second weekend of Coachella? Justin Bieber was there, I guess.
Okay, so I did see that little clip. He looked like he needed some help standing up.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was doing very good. I don't know what drug this is, but I'm going to assume it's a drug. And it looked like he was on something. He's smoking what looks to be a blunt. And then he's just kind of doubled over. And I don't know. He just looks like he's kind of out of it in some of this footage.
Oh, his pants are higher than the last footage we played of him.
He's shirtless in the crowd, but he has a concert. There he is, rocking along.
The last month, I've only seen him by himself looking different. Wife, Haley Baldwin, not even around.
Somebody said,
take care of their child.
I didn't get this at all, but somebody said, he's got postpartum. I'm like,
what?
First of all, did they just have a baby? Did they just have another kid recently?
I thought same
I think what we're looking at is somebody who's struggling with some problems.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a postpartum thing as much as it is something else.
Weird to think that they did a Comedy Central roast of Justin Bieber, and since then he has lived a whole other life.
Yeah.
There's so many things that if they went back and redid it, they could put back in. Yeah.
August of 2024 was when the baby was born.
Okay, so that's not that long ago. Right. That's not that long ago. And I don't know if there's anything to guys having postpartum depression. Women have issues with postpartum depression, and it's a real issue for the people who are unfortunate enough to have to go through it. I think, I don't know exactly where all the science is on this, because of the immense amount of hormones that are released by your body in the entire process of giving birth. It's something that it's amazing that any human being can go through. But women just be doing this. And to me, I think that can cause some of these issues. But for a guy having postpartum, I don't know. I don't know exactly what that would be. But let us know if you know more. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Laura emails the show. And Laura's talking about the preschoolers who got kicked out. There was 2 3-year-olds that got expelled from, I think, their second preschool last week.
Wasn't
we
it
talked
twins?
about them. They're little kids. I don't remember if they were twins or not, but yeah, maybe they were. 2 3-year-olds were expelled from preschool. They were probably attending a daycare like the one I worked for, says Laura. We have a curriculum that is taught, so it's a bit more than just watching kids. If they get expelled, it's because they were absolutely feral, Laura says. Like these little hellions are just running around. The parents are not telling the full story. It's very hard to get kicked out of preschool. We deal with children who throw chairs at us, spit, cuss, bite other children, throw feces, urinate on other kids, and we don't kick them out. Here in North Carolina, for 3-year-olds, the child-to-teacher ratio is 1 to 15. So, yeah, if the behavior becomes too dangerous or disruptive, the child will be expelled. Love you guys, Laura. Well, first of all, thank you, Laura. Second of all, I can't imagine that this is a situation where somebody wants to kick these young kids out of a preschool. It's probably just the parents complaining because their kids are hellions. And there's a lot of that happens out there. There's a lot of really annoying parenting that goes on. And it brings me to the story I was talking about just briefly earlier. Did you guys see this over the weekend? The woman who went viral for facing off with the little kid on the flight?
No.
Oh, with the sandal?
This lady.
The fork? Fork and sandal? Yeah, absolutely. And I can't say I would act differently.
This lady.
Someone get your kid.
Her friend records her. Because apparently this young child, who's maybe 4 or 5 years old, apparently the mother of this child has passed out. She's passed out, right? And the little kid proceeds to wander up and down the aisle of the plane with a fork.
Yes, and
stabbing people.
Mm-hmm. And
this woman
looks like the family was in first class because that was a metal fork. And the kid is just like The Shining style. Or whatever evil kid is in a horror movie. Just looking and smiling, stabbing everybody.
All right, here's the lady on the plane. I'm not going to play the audio.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not playing the audio because she goes, I will effing hit this kid. She's like, flight attendants, you better get over here. She's trying to stab me with a fork. And you see the little girl, and she has a fork in her hand. She got a fork, and she's standing by this lady.
Oh,
and she was
wow. The dress does make it look Shining.
Yeah. And the little Shining girl is just going down the aisle, stabbing all these people with her fork because her mom is passed out on the flight. And I said, kid or no kid, I will swat your ass if you are stabbing people or me with a fork going down the aisle. I don't know what the reception to that would be, but here she is. And she's like, you better come. She's hitting the button to page the flight attendants over and over and over again. You better come get her.
Seriously, get your kid.
And
That's
the little kid is just
to me.
sitting there, and she got her sandal out like she's gonna wallop the kid if
cute
she
little like Sunday church dress, just forking everybody.
I think this is the mom over here, like passed out against the window. I think possibly. I'm not totally sure, but this is what happens. Sometimes parents go, well, it'll be fine. It'll all take care of itself. If I was a parent in public with my kids, there's a 0% shot that I would fall asleep like this. No way. I saw some people earlier defending this woman. They're like, it's because this woman is at her wit's end and she just had a very difficult day and don't care.
So
don't care.
Velcro your kid to the seat.
If you're bringing your kid on a flight,
don't give them a metal fork.
You're responsible. You can't go, everybody else will deal with my children because I'm having a hard time. No, thank you. Not how the world works. You decided to open your legs and have a baby. And the moment you decided that, you're the person who's going to have to be responsible for these kids when they are born and until they are of a certain age. So if you want to do that, fine, go for it. But the idea that you could be like, you have no idea how tired this poor mother. No. If you're on a flight, watch your kids. They shouldn't be stabbing people with forks. That's that. All right.
But maybe that mom's been stabbed so many times by forks.
She's just like, go stab somebody else.
Yep. Here's mommy's about to take her happy pill. Night, night.
You say this must have been for first class because it does appear to be a metal fork.
They give you metal forks, the main and basic. I'll tell you that.
I didn't think that they gave you metal silverware at all on a plane.
They do on the nicer
crazy.
ones.
Really? Would they give you a knife?
It's not a stabbing knife.
Is there non-stabbing knives?
Yeah, butter knife.
Well, you never tried.
If you're angry enough, you can make
a butter knife.
Any knife could be a stabbing knife. Any knife, save maybe for the poop knife. Don't Google that though. This lady was not happy with the ordeal on the plane, and I do not blame her for once.
They should have moved him to coach. They should have just picked at random some people that were in coach and go, all right, we're trading. We're giving some upgrades here because they're this kid is doing coach behavior. Take your coach behavior back to coach.
A lot of dissenters, though. Dan says on YouTube, it's ridiculous how easy that flight attendant just reached out and confiscated the fork. How did this child paralyze a plane full of adults? What the hell has happened to people? LOL. Well, the problem is, Dan, in the world that we live in the real world, if you have a young kid, a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old who's doing something like this, when the parent snaps to, if you took the fork away from the kid, a lot of the parents that would allow this to happen will be the parents who will be like, what did you do to my child? You were touching my child. This guy was touching my child. And so people are hesitant to touch other people's kids, even if it is taking a fork away from them. People expect that parents will take care of their own kids and that you won't have to deal with this. Mm-hmm. So I can understand the hesitancy there, but maybe not you. Let us know. Let us know what you think. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will hear from you. Peacocks have made their way into the news once more.
And to your house, right?
Oh, my God.
Congratulations. They're making their way over on my side of the neighborhood as well. I'm starting to see.
I had a trapped one this morning, Sabrina.
What?
Well, it came
set
up
up a trap?
No. It came up by my front door, and then there was construction going on across the street, so I think it felt like it didn't want to go back over there.
Oh.
So it was literally just sitting in front of my front door all morning long, looking
and then
down
you grabbed
the
Courtney's
hallway.
dad's shotgun.
Bring it. If he was here too much longer, I would have been done with that thing. All right, we're going to be back with this. And Celine, do we have that Nancy Mace video?
I'm censoring it during this break.
Okay, we've got to talk about this back and forth. This politician filmed this interaction, or somebody filmed this interaction with a constituent that didn't go well, I guess. We'll analyze and see who we think's in the right. That's coming up at the final hour of the show as well. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com. What's going on? I hope your drive right now is a smooth one, and it should be on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Looks like no major incident in your way. Of course, your usual delay, I-4 eastbound, approaching both World Drive and State Road at 535, but westbound is clear. East and westbound of the 408 as well. North and southbound lanes of the Turnpike, as well as the Greenway and 429 toll. If you have any incident to report, call our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Blue Stream Fiber. HOA and condo board members. Fiber internet has never been easier. Blue Stream Fiber simplifies the switch, helping your community save up to 50% while keeping residents happy. Their step-by-step process makes upgrading hassle-free. Visit bluestreamfiber.com/radio today.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
I'm ready. Let me just grab my bag. Sweatpants, huh? Didn't know we were keeping it casual this month. Yeah, I feel bloated every now and then.
You have to try new Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies. They have prebiotics to nourish good bacteria, probiotics to help relieve occasional bloating, and postbiotics for immune support.
All that in one gummy?
Yep. So no sweatpants next time?
Not anymore.
Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies for gut health support. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
This is an ad for Roundup for Lawns. It kills weeds down to the root without harming your lawn. It works on crabgrass, dandelions, clover. It works on weeds with names you can't even pronounce. It's Roundup for Lawns. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
Just because an injury doesn't show up on an x-ray doesn't mean it isn't real. We know doctors that specialize in whiplash, sprains, strains, and tears. They can help us prove your pain is real and fight for your future medical needs. Farah and Farah.
Orlando.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Want to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 2012.
Go, Mike. Folks, we're coming back in 1 minute. 1 minute, we're coming back. We got this Nancy Mace video. It's a little explosive. Trump is commenting in an interesting way on the Pope, Pope Francis dying. We'll hear his audio next. We'll see what Trump said about the Pope in kind of a bizarre circumstance. That is coming up in just a bit here on the show. And a whole lot more on the way. So stick with us. Thanks for hanging out. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe if you want to make sure you're sticking along with the show each day and hanging out with us as we go through everything viral happening in the world. Hit subscribe. It's free to do. And we'll see you soon. But we'll get to these two stories and many more as we roll on in the final hour of the show next.
One? Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Join the show. Send your dispatch now at thenewsjunkie.com. This
And we're learning what happens next. We're learning about the Pope process. We haven't done this in 12 years, I think.
That's been a minute.
Start from scratch from the Pope process.
Also, the rejoin sounded like it was laughing that he died.
Oh, that's bad timing. I'm certainly not laughing. I'm not a religious person. You won't be shocked to hear that from me if you've been listening to the show for a while. I'm an agnostic. I'm not a very religious person. I don't look up to the Pope in any way. But, I get it. Some people do. And I find it just to be...
Had the chyron of 1.4 billion mourning.
Oh, really? not all of them, right? That's just how many Catholics there are?
Yes, but just let's assume and use the massive number of 1.4 billion humans are in mourning at this very moment.
I still, in every thread that I see online, see the people who didn't like the Pope, who didn't like Pope Francis. And I don't know why. They seem to be upset about something that the Pope did, but I don't remember him getting super controversial at any point in time. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens next with this whole Pope thing. But President Trump is talking about it from the White House. The Easter Bunny's still at the White House. The Easter Bunny's still there hanging out, man. I thought they'd be wrapped up and get that done with, but they're doing Easter Monday now.
Going to give a riser to the Easter Bunny? Because I'm just seeing eyes.
No, the Easter Bunny's a little bit shorter than everybody else gathered here. But Trump was talking about the Pope, so let's see what he says.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, and a very happy Easter to everyone. It was a beautiful day yesterday, and it's a beautiful day today. We don't have to worry about sunburn, but looks like it's not going to be raining. It's going to be really something special.
How's he going to get over to the Pope topic from here? You know who else doesn't have to worry about sunburn?
Jesus is risen, but someone else is taking his place.
He's going to segue.
42,000 people are expected all throughout the day, and it's an honor to have you. I just signed an executive order putting the flags of our country, all of them, all federal flags and state flags, at half-mast in honor of Pope Francis. So
okay.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world, and it's an honor to do that. I want to thank everybody.
You know what? This is a little weird, though, isn't it? Didn't Trump not like flags being at half-mast or staff?
That's when he was going to be
during the inauguration. Didn't he say something about flags at half-staff are ugly or something?
I don't remember that.
I know what he was trying to avoid. He didn't want the left-wing people to get a win because the flags would be at half-staff.
He didn't want it during when he was taking the oath
of office?
Yeah.
So I remember him not saying good things about this before, but he's doing it for the Pope now.
Everybody for being here. This is some band. I've heard this band actually indirectly for 4 years and very directly now for 4.5. and I like the direct method even better. But the Marine Corps band is very, very special. Thank you.
So they're putting the flags at half staff. They got a big event going on. The Easter Bunny's there. It's kind of awkward for the Easter Bunny. He didn't know that the Pope was going to die. Or she. I don't know who's in the costume. But Trump said, I signed an executive order putting the flags of our country, all of them, all federal flags and state flags, at half-mast in honor of Pope Francis. He said he was a good man, worked hard, loved the world, and it's an honor to do that. So that's where we are in the Pope world. We'll see what's happening with all of that as we continue, because now they go in with the mourning process first and then Pope selection, right?
Right.
You do the mourning and the funeral and all of those things, and then you move on to the Pope selection after that at some point in time. We're going to get to this Nancy Mace video in a bit here. Let me know when that's ready, Celia. No rush.
It's giving me a hell of a time on this. I got the curse words taken out, but just the video doesn't want to show up.
Oh, damn it.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. We'll get to it at some point here whenever we get a shot.
Crunching the numbers.
Let's hear from you. Let's work in a couple of dispatches whilst we have some time. Here is Bro Villa is talking about somebody's trolling the world. Who's trolling the world? Trump's trolling the world? Who
trolls the world?
Hey, what's up, junkies?
Hey.
Man, I tell you what, dude, that's why I love this show, man. It's so good. I was going to say, I wish we didn't have to include politics, but dude, if he's trolling the world right now because, he don't give a rat's ass, it's so good, man. It's so good.
Who's
All
trolling
right,
the
you guys
world?
have a great day.
I don't know.
Laugh my ass off the rest of the day.
Who's that? Politics? No, I
What was
think.
the subject line?
Was he talking about Trump's Easter tweets?
Maybe. Yeah, he was intense with the Easter tweets or the truth posts for Easter. He was pretty wild about those. One more. Here is Flip talking about Easter gunplay.
Yeah, so I'm glad you guys went the Elmer Fudd route, because that's exactly what I pictured. Chuck brings the gun to him, hands it to him, then he disappears, comes back with a hunting hat, and all these little kids are asking, "Hey, why do you have a gun? Why do you have a gun?" He's like, I could just see Sean, it's Wabbit season, and just kind of, moving on his day.
I'm telling you,
that'd be a crazy prank if you had the Easter Bunny, just by the ears.
I felt very, very strange in the situation. He's talking about for Easter. Courtney's dad, he leaves in the middle of, we're talking about some things. He goes, hold on. And then I see him come walking in the hall and he's got a shotgun. And I'm thinking, well, we're a little far into the relationship for this whole dad shotgun moment.
What are your intentions with my daughter?
It's like, all right, here we go.
Wait, now clarify this because I was a little unclear. Did he give you the gun or he just held it?
He handed the gun to me. He's like,
when you told the story, he's like, he gave me the gun. And I was like, wait, to keep?
No, he didn't give it to me to keep. He was showing me this gun that he had, and I didn't know anything about it or whether it was loaded or anything. I just ended up realizing, I looked down and I go, I am currently holding a shotgun in a living room, and there are little kids everywhere around me, and it's Easter.
There are some families in which that is totally normal.
Yeah, for me, it seems strange. And I was just looking around going, are these kids going to question why this man has a gun in the middle of the living room?
Weird, man.
What's this guy doing? Already we're having conversations with Courtney's 16-year-old niece because we'll
about
be like,
brunch?
Well, some of that stuff, but we'll be like, what's cool now? What are teenagers into? What are high schoolers into? Yeah, what's the language they're using? What's the stuff that's going on? And I'd be like, I knew that one.
Were you asking her with the shotgun in your hand?
I did. I put the shotgun away at this point. Good. Yeah. I was just sitting back and learning and listening. It's always interesting when once you stop being a teenager and start getting into your 20s and throughout the rest of your life, the further away from that you get, the harder it is to stay on top of what young people are into and what they're saying and what's happening in the world. But then you end up in that dangerous place where you see the news story that goes, middle schoolers can't stop doing this. Mm-hmm. And then if you repeat it to a middle schooler, they're like, oh, God.
That's the thing. I don't remember us. I mean, we always have those moments where, God, you're being so embarrassing, or you don't know what's going on, mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
But this new generation just makes everyone that's older than them feel really stupid.
I feel
there's a lot of a shame factor involved in letting us know what what's the haps.
Yeah, there was some of that, but I learned things. I was happy to learn things. It was a good time.
Share with us, please.
I was going to, but I don't actually feel comfortable because I've said who it was now, and
all right,
But I did. It was like, hey, this happens with kids, and more importantly, things that happen with parents now in 2022. And she was saying that a lot of, I'm not going to, I'll just keep that to myself. Okay.
Do the same story, but as another person, like a week from now, and we'll have no idea who you're talking about.
So a stranger comes up to me,
I was
right?
talking to a random kid.
Here's what they said. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into this Peacock incident. Nancy Mace, she'll be wandering onto the show as well. And an issue with AI that I think we absolutely have to address. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hoping your ride is a safe one on the major highways and roads of Orlando. There are closures and delays you should know about, including the 429 toll northbound after State Road 453 approaching mile marker 40. All lanes are closed due to a vehicle fire. Right now, a delay due to a right lane blocked westbound approaching the 429 toll on I-4, and also a right lane blocked westbound approaching the State Road 535. Thankfully, the turnpike is clear. Our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Taking a Walk podcast.
I'm Buzz Knight, the host of the Taking a Walk podcast, and join me for an upcoming episode with the former frontman from REO Speedwagon, Kevin Cronin, coming up on Taking a Walk on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Studies have shown that less than 20% of people compare the first mortgage quote they get. So don't be a slacker. Get peace of mind right there at your fingertips by going to thatmortgaguydawn.com. That's right. If you already have a mortgage and you're wondering if it's any good, That Mortgage Guy Dawn is here to help. And it's so easy to compare your quote. Go to the website, thatmortgaguydawn.com. Hit the button that says compare, upload your quote, and That Mortgage Guy Dawn will tell you if it's any good. And if it's not, he's going to help you find the best deal. Simple as that. So get the process started today and work with an expert and a friend that you could trust. Go to thatmortgaguydawn.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgaguydawn.com.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
It's the Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. 2 bets facing off. Winning side splits $250K in bonus bets every single day. Time to pick a side. Team underdogs or team favorites. Team over or team under. There's one way to settle this. Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. Pick a side for $1. Win your share of $250K or more today. Prize pool to be paid out in bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. Although it's April, please don't be fooled. There could be lurking issues in your body that you have no idea exist. And here's the cool thing. Life Imaging FLA and their free heart scan can tell you what those things are. That's right. That's called being proactive, not reactive. And that could save your life. And when you consider that 1 out of 3 people will die of a heart attack, and in 30 to 40% of those cases, the very first symptom is sudden death, it makes this a no-brainer. Get that peace of mind through prevention like I did, like my in-laws did, and like so many people in Central Florida have done. Go to Life Imaging FLA, get this free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value, and it could not be easier to make your appointment. Simply pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say the keyword free heart scan. That is it. Pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. They'll connect you in seconds. Then make that appointment and change your long-term outlook for your long-term health. You have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio offer at 321-259-8000. Solid Bite, life-changing dentistry.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This little piggy wasn't affected by the market. This little piggy had protected funds. This little piggy locked in college costs. This little piggy had a 1-year plan. And all the little piggies went wee to college land.
Before you know it, those tiny feet will be off to college. Save the smartest way with a Florida 529 prepaid plan. Unlike a regular savings account, the funds are dedicated and guaranteed to cover tuition costs. So when they're ready to go, you are too. Prepaid plans start at $29 a month. Open enrollment ends April 30th.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Tariffs and your money? Well, we just offered our thoughts on the most recent episode of the How to Money podcast. Let's say you do live in a state that gives you a tax break on $529. That's great. But don't invest those dollars once you put them in. We're all about investing in a 529 plan. Typically, right? You want that tax advantage money to grow. But as you get close to needing to spend the money, de-risking is crucial. In uncertain financial times, How to Money is here to help. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search How to Money, and start listening today.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Riding now the daily to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
today. Do appreciate it. You can join us on the show with the Dispatch or follow along on social media. How do you do that? Go to thenewsjunkie.com/share and you'll get all the links over there. C-Lane has kindly censored this video that's starting to get some attention today, and it's of this politician named Nancy Mace. I don't know a ton about her, but I know she is like one of these kind of sort of aggressive, newer politicians.
Her Instagram description of herself is mom, Citadel grad, former Waffle House waitress, Congresswoman representing South Carolina, endorsed by Donald Trump.
Okay, so she's from South Carolina, and she said in this thing, she said, I hold the line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And immediately I felt exhausted just thinking about holding the line that much. And it's like just a lot of work for one to take on.
You need a break with the line holding every once in a while?
I'll hold the line like for a little while, but I don't want to hold the line that long. So this is her, and she has a run-in with somebody. Can you tell what kind of store they're at, C-Lane?
I don't know the exact store. I know that they're in like a cosmetics department.
Okay.
Oh, it might be an Ulta. I see Ulta somewhere.
All right. It's like a makeup store.
Is Ulta a brand and also a store? Or
so they have their own cosmetics, but you go to Ulta to grab any and all of the beauty products of your choice.
Yeah. Ulta is like the big competitors to Sephora.
You can get your generic, the Ulta brand of lipstick.
My nightmare, that place. My God.
I'm an online gal.
When you go into the store, there's always so many people, and and it's like a little maze. These Ulta stores are these.
I've only been inside one time, and that was very many years ago.
It's a lot. It's like, holy cow! I don't know where I'm supposed to stand or go. I'm like cognizant that I'm a full-grown man, and I don't want to be in everybody's way all the time. I mean, I know it seems like a small thing, but I don't want to be in people's way all the time. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me move over here, move over here. Ulta is like ultimate rat race, ladies. There's always chaos going on there. So that's where they are. Nancy
That's what
Mays
Ulta is short for. Ultimate rat race.
And this person, she says it was some unhinged lunatic, a man wearing Daisy Dukes at a makeup store, got in my face. Dems are nuts.
That man with the Daisy Dukes, so.
Let's see what we got.
I do them every year.
Every year. Oh, those aren't Daisy Dukes.
No,
those
they're
are
not
just
Daisy
very
Dukes.
short shorts. Daisy Dukes, in my estimation.
Butt cheeks.
Now, I can be corrected here. I might be wrong. I see Daisy Dukes as jean shorts, and
those are jeans.
It's like some riffle, like ripped and stringy and like tattered.
But the most important part is that it's shapely, and you see a little butt cheek.
These are just tiny little shorts, tiny little guy shorts.
I keep going. Do you want to keep going and keep harassing me? You could have gone to a dozen town halls last year.
I asked if you're doing any more this year. It was one simple question.
Yeah.
Are you doing a town hall?
I've already done one. I'll do plenty more.
Are you doing any more this year? It was a simple question.
You're always invited.
Okay, sweet. Well,
and by the way, I voted for gay marriage twice.
What does that have to do
so
with me?
I'm just saying, it has everything to do with you.
She said, I voted for gay marriage twice.
She assumed he was gay.
Just to set the scene, he's got to be gay, though, right? To set the scene, he has a phone in his hand, but I don't know if he's recording. She is recording, though.
Yeah.
She is recording this from her side.
Which means that she posted this and she thinks she won this.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's true. The idea of putting it out there means that you think you like came out better in this.
Not everybody watching agrees, because there was a whole YouTube video where a guy was like, kept stopping and starting it, so I didn't get it from this person. But the guy was like, oh, she thinks that this was a good idea. Here's why it's not.
So far, it seems like all he did was ask if she was going to do a town hall.
Yeah.
Now, I know the bit there, right? I know what they're doing. The idea is if you don't do a town hall, they go, why aren't you doing any town halls? And when you do town halls, your opponents, people who are not voting for you, people who are not your supporters, fill your town hall to make it look like everybody is very angry who voted for you. So I get that, but it didn't seem like he asked for it in a very mean way or anything, at least not so far. Maybe we go more on him.
Everything about me has to do with gay marriage.
I do.
That's
absolutely.
your first stance when you speak with me.
Absolutely.
There's no other humane
if you want to get in my face about town
me.
halls, you should have shown up to one last year.
There's no other thing you can talk about me just saying, oh, I support gay marriage.
Yeah,
that's
because you're getting in my face about a town hall. You could have gone last year. Would you like me?
Oh, God.
Any plans to have more town halls this year?
I have town halls every year. I have over a dozen every year.
Great. That was my entire question. You didn't have to go into this spiel.
You could have come to.
All right, I'll tell you. He probably doesn't like her, but I don't think he's coming off that crazy and unhinged so far.
Calm and collect.
He's like, they're not going to be friends at the end of this, but he's kind of like, I was just asking if you're going to have any town halls.
The just so you know, I voted for gay marriage thing was kind of an odd.
Yeah, it's like my cousin's girlfriend from high school was black.
Mm-hmm.
It comes off that way.
I got black friends line. Yeah, a little bit of that in here. but he doesn't seem unhinged yet. And maybe there's more to this.
Of them last year.
Okay. And
I had over a dozen.
Year, not 2024.
Where were you the year before that?
Okay.
Or the year before that?
It was a simple
Oh,
question.
because you know what? Because you people on the left are crazy.
So I'm
You're
on the left.
absolutely fucking crazy.
I'm absolutely fucking
You
crazy.
are. And get out of my face.
You're insane.
Goodbye.
You're insane.
F you.
You're gonna me. You're
Yep.
gonna be voted
Bye.
out so fast this year.
I'm not. I'm not. I won by so much.
You're a disgrace to the state. That's what you are. You're a disgrace. I ask you a simple question, and you just go on this tirade and tell me you.
Yeah, you.
Disgusting.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Try it again. What's your name?
Yeah.
What's your name?
You're a nasty bitch.
What's your name? Yep, I sure did.
He goes, you're a nasty bitch. What's your name? My name's You're a Nasty Bitch.
the
I
move
love that
I
she
like,
says F you and then asks for his name.
Yeah.
That's an early question, gal.
he popped back around the corner. He had like kind of left for a second there, and then he popped back
Won
over.
by so much.
You're a disgrace to the state. That's what you are. You're a disgrace. I ask you a simple question, and you just go on this tirade and tell me you.
Yeah, you.
Disgusting.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Try it again. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Yep, I sure did.
You're saying is
Absolutely. Get the out of my face. Now. You. You couldn't take me on.
Yeah.
It just snowballs
Congress,
into both of them being childish and just F you, F you, F
I
you,
gotta
F me,
say,
F you.
not a crazy scene.
I think
doesn't
that
seem like any of the other customers are aware of what's going on. Just
no, they're
yet.
just worried about Ulta deals. Everybody else is like, oh man, I'm gonna go over here in the nail polish aisle. I look at this and go, who was more unhinged? She's the elected official, right? Like, I think the elected official should be held to a pretty high standard.
And she dropped the first
And
F-bomb.
She was cursing before him. Now, we don't know what happened before this video, but he seemed like he was keeping his cool all right. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. It seemed like he was kind of keeping his cool and just saying, hey, are you having these town halls? Which maybe is annoying, but isn't that your job? You're a politician. You're supposed to have to interact and interface with these people. We have way too many politicians, like my own local politician, I'll tell you, who have absolutely brain dead ideas. And then when they get confronted with how brain dead their ideas are, they don't think about it. And they don't go, maybe I should change or alter my policy. Maybe I should do something about this. Maybe I wasn't, being as smart as I could in handling this issue. They go, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want people being mean to me. Well, I mean, sometimes you deserve a little pushback from the people. I don't think he was doing that much. He seemed fine. He seemed fine to me. Obi-Wan Kenobi says, Sean, are you having any town halls?
Little bitch.
I don't dare. I'm not going out there in the real world.
It just, for those who couldn't watch it, the funniest part to me was he was moving away and he was out of the shot, as Sean had said. And then when she said, what's your name? He popped up over the thing. He goes, you're a nasty bitch. That's what my name is.
He pops up. Right. And what's funny about this is it all comes down to whose political side are you on, how you'll view these outcomes. Like, so people will watch a video like this, and if they agree with Nancy Mace, most of them will be like, yeah, you told him. Get that guy. And if you hate Nancy Mace, you're probably going to view it through a completely different lens. It's best to not care about any of that and just listen to who came off in a better way. She went to cursing first. She went to a more aggressive stance than he did first.
She started name calling and you people on the left this and
but I voted for gay marriage twice.
He followed her when she did it, right? He also was cursing too once she started cursing. But unless there was a moment before the video, she looked more unhinged, I think, in the video itself, just personally. Okay. You know what I saw? I was looking into some of the stuff over the weekend at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take a moment and say to all of the people who work at the movie theater right now,
Chicken Jockey!
I feel for you. This is a trying time. Thank God there's new movies coming in that'll offset some of these other movies. We've been talking about what's happening with the Minecraft movie and how people do the chicken jockey thing. I saw over the weekend some kid threw a full-ass butterball turkey into the crowd when they did chicken jockey, which is not a chicken. It's a turkey, for God's sake.
Expensive.
He threw the whole turkey, and then I saw these people cleaning up these damn theaters, and then one person in the movie theater workers subreddit said, because that's where I spend my time these days, All the other subreddits
guy.
All the other subreddits are dumb. The movie theater employee subreddit, they go, yeah, you know what else is annoying? It's not just Minecraft that's a problem right now. I'm going to screw this up, so C-Lane, fact check me here in real time. What's the religious movie that's in the theaters right now that's an animated
Sinners.
thing? No, it's not Sinners.
Passion of the Christ.
No, it's not Passion of the Christ. There's a movie right now in theaters. I'll look it up if
I
you
got
can't
you.
find
I got
it.
you. Go ahead.
But
Movies
it's one of the top movies right now, and it's a religious movie. And it's like an animated Jesus movie. And that's also no. That's also been a tough thing for these movie theater employees.
David.
No.
Wait, what was Teen just from? I feel like I just
That's
watched.
from Righteous Gemstones. But I'm saying the King of Kings.
Yes, King of Kings.
Okay.
King of Kings is out right now. Thank you,
it's
Sabrina.
Full. Yeah, it's very animated. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like a low rent looking animation, but religious people will go see religious movies, so they're coming out to watch this movie. Easter weekend, you get it, right? So from what I heard, this is also an annoying movie for the movie theater employees. Why? Well, after a movie is over, the movie theater employees only have like 20 minutes or so to clean everything up and prepare the theater for the next crowd of people that is going to come in. It's a limited window that they have. And after King of Kings, apparently, people are just sitting in their seats. And when the crew comes in, they go, we got to clean the place out. I got to get you out of here. They go, how dare you? We just watched a moving and very religious movie, and we were having an experience, and we're trying to process the animated Jesus movie that we just watched.
Okay.
And they're like lingering around in the theater afterwards so that they can't get their jobs done.
Waiting for the extended bonus scene at the end of the credits, or they're still there when the lights go up?
It's a religious experience for them, they say, and they're not ready. They're not prepared to move on, and they can't clear out the theater. And I go, oh, God, this is a tough time.
But there's an easy way to change that.
What, boot them all out?
No,
Chicken
just
jockey?
start playing something that they would not like.
Oh, yeah, really? You could do that. Yeah.
Just
I'd
what
scoot
it
them out of
is.
there.
It's up
Play
to
some Marilyn Manson, while they
That's
clean
an
the
easy
theater.
go-to, but I mean, we're on to something.
If you ended
Harry Potter, honestly.
King of Kings and you hit play on Long Legs,
Oh, now we're talking.
you might clear the theater out. They're like, that was such a good move. What the experience was beautiful. And then Long Legs.
I see.
That'll get them out of there real quick. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Monday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on the show, the Pope has passed. We'll talk about how they choose a new pontiff. Plus, Florida could have new drone laws on the way. At 4 o'clock in sports with Brandon Kravitz. For trivia, it's tickets to the Solar Bears, Orlando City, and Tijuana Flats gift cards. 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000 plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Monday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we are going to be expecting a partly to mostly sunny sky. We'll have a few clouds overhead, but otherwise temperatures will remain hot with a high near 90 degrees for this afternoon. We stay on the hot and dry stretch as we head over the course of the next several days. Really no soaking rain in sight, even as we head towards the end of this week with highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll explain how Crayola crayons came to be. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Mills Air is a company that is going to help you out. They are going to set you up for the future, get you nice and comfortable, get your AC working the way that it should. They respect you, and you'll see that their techs are absolutely the best around. There's no question about this. So I encourage you, if there's any issues with your air conditioner, to call Mills Air. And better yet, sign up for preventative maintenance so you can get ahead of these problems. Have somebody from Mills Air look at your AC before it breaks, so you maybe don't have the big problem that you could run into with a big breakdown. They've been around since 1992. That's over 30 years that they've been keeping people just like you nice and cool and comfortable. They're a Carrier factory authorized dealer. and get you really big rebates on a brand new Carrier unit. You could always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you could always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Here's the number for Mills Air, 407-277-1159. 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
Orlando's premier comedy club and restaurant is the Funny Bone, located at Point Orlando. This week, the Funny Bone welcomes Lunal, April 25th and 26th. Check our star-studded calendar and showtimes online at orlando.funnybone.com. Full kitchen and bar available, as well as parking discounts for all guests. Follow us on all social media platforms and get your tickets now at orlando.funnybone.com. We'll see you at the show.
Allergies are torture, but Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you beat your allergies for good. Exact is clinically proven to give long-term lasting allergy relief in 3 injections. That's right, allergy relief in 3 injections. No matter how long you've suffered, no matter what else you've tried, with 3 injections, you can experience relief from your allergies. Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus. Go to aspireallergy.com to book your appointment today. aspireallergy.com.
Hey Orlando, Joe Rossi here from Greenway Kia. By now you've heard about the auto tariffs, but at Greenway Kia we planned ahead. We've been stocking up on new Kias at all 3 locations. Drive home the new Kia you want tariff free. Like new 2025 Kia Sorento SUVs for only $179 per month for 24 months with 0 security deposit. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Qualified applicants through KFA include $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, $49.95 at inception, plus tax title license, $899 dealer, and $249.50 doc fee. Expires 5/5/25.
Get ready for fun family gatherings by replacing your old windows and doors with beautiful designs from Renewal by Andersen. One reason, they're customizable. Choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic, with each product custom built to fit your home's exact specifications. James says installation went smoothly. Installers polite and professional and hardworking. Take advantage of Renewal by Andersen's 1-month only sale. $300 off all windows, $800.
Go, Mike. Folks, thanks for hanging out with us today. Started off a little sideways today because I had a meeting before the show, throwing off my entire schedule. We'll be back on track tomorrow for a Share the Show Tuesday. Should be a fun week of shows ahead. We should have some announcements at some point, hopefully, about our event coming up closer to the end of the year, the Halloween roast. And we should have some other fun things that you're not going to want to miss on the stream. Our chatter of the day. I'm giving it to Tanya. I'm doing it. I'm giving it to Tanya. I'm giving it to her because she deserves it. She may have won before, but she deserves to win again. Tanya, thank you for being you. Thank everybody else in chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for providing running commentary during the show, giving us something to bounce off of. You're the best folks out there. No chat is better. And we love you and appreciate you. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Here we go. 1 minute.
So how soon can you get here? Because these bold bikes won't be around forever. And trust us, you don't want to miss them.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
I'm ready. Let me just grab my bag. Sweatpants, huh? Didn't know we were keeping it casual this month. Yeah, I feel bloated every now and then.
You have to try new Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies. They have prebiotics to nourish good bacteria, probiotics to help relieve occasional bloating, and postbiotics for immune support.
All that in one gummy?
Yep. So no sweatpants next time?
Not anymore.
Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies for gut health support. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeart Radio app today.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by RC Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row. It's
And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Monday. Thank you, friend, for being with us. We appreciate you. We love you. And we hope you'll join us tomorrow to do it all over again. Big week of shows here for you. And if you miss anything, as always, get caught up at thenewsjunkie.com. I'll tell you what, the thing that really stuck with me from today was we talked earlier, as we do often on Mondays, with Amy Caulfield. It's always a nice way to kind of kick into the week and get up to date with what's happening in her world. And obviously last week, she was directly impacted because her child goes to FSU, her daughter goes to FSU, where this school shooting was. And the fact that she had mentioned that the teacher of the class that her daughter was supposed to be in just ditched the classroom.
That blew my mind. And I know. I was just very surprised by that move. But then she also brought up the point, college professor, we all adults here.
Right.
But at that moment of panic, you're looking at that person of authority, and they just got up and left.
Yeah. Not even just that, because a lot of people were saying they should have left too. The students should have left too. There was a warning about a shooter on campus,
right,
and I thought,
when you lock down.
Yeah, it's a shelter-in-place order.
Yeah, and the teacher is the one that has the ability to lock the classroom down, as best I can tell. And so the students
know the protocols.
The reason why the students had to flounder there and kind of get all the desks and tables and push them up against the doors to block the doors was because that teacher dipped out and left them in the classroom. And I just thought that was crazy. It was wild to me.
The administration's going to do anything about that.
I don't know. What is the responsibility? If you're in college, I think things change a little bit. If you're an elementary school or a middle school teacher or even a high school teacher and you ditch your class, that seems bad. That seems real bad. Jean on YouTube says, Sean sounds exhausted. Do I sound tired today?
Not to me.
You get a good night's sleep?
Ish. Okay. It was not bad. It was a good weekend. Nice weekend. Enjoyed all the Easter stuff. Had fun. Wish it was one day longer, at least. Maybe 2 days would have been real nice. But no, I'm geared up and ready to go for a big week of shows. It should be fun around here. For that, and with that,
I just want to know where it goes from here. We have Dead Pope on Monday.
Pope gone.
It has not stopped. Dead Pope, plane on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And last week we ended 3 days of every single day was breaking news of some sort.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens, baby.
That's the beauty. You never know what's going to happen around here. Obi-Wan Cannoli says, Sean has had a little bit of a Southern frog accent today.
Southern frog.
That shotgun in his hand.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Is that?
I don't know if he was he a Southern frog?
You would think he was Southern, but his name was Michigan J Frog. So
Midwest.
I've never put any thought into this, but that is kind of a strange thing. Now that you mention it. All right, let's do the final dispatches. Let's get the hell out of here.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
Oh, maybe. Who knows? We got a little time, so let's see what we can squeeze in here at the finish line. Let me just refresh for the latest and get to what we were talking about. I guess when I say we, I mean me. I guess I misspelled or mispronounced the place in Beijing where they were having the robot half marathon.
What?
Sorry, I've not been to this place, but I guess I said it wrong.
So I was looking at the CNN story about the humanoid robots running in that district of Beijing. And that district, if you've ever been to Beijing,
I've not.
They pronounce things a little bit different. It's pronounced.
You know what? I'm going to stop him because
I do a joke.
I want to hear it.
No, he's going to do an inappropriate joke.
He's going to say something we can't say. That's what he's going to do. I feel it in my bones. Is it worth risking? But I know.
Well, let me know is that dumpable? If it's not,
hold on. Okay, the marathon story was in Yizhuang, Yizhuang.
Oh, yeah, he's absolutely gonna.
It's gonna be a penis joke without a shadow of a doubt,
Probably
right?
something else. And I dumped it. I went ahead and just went ahead and dumped it. We knew that. We knew it too.
I knew it was gonna be that, but I was still curious. And then C-Lane made me feel like a pussy for not hitting the play button. He bullied me into it. So here we go.
It's all C-Lane's fault.
Okay, sorry, folks.
I'll take it.
You missed out. All right, let's get to one final dispatch. Here is Guitar Slinger.
I got it. After the Jesus movie is over and the credits start to roll, punch up AC/DC Highway to Hell.
Oh.
Perfect. It'll clear out immediately.
Maybe. We were talking about how people were staying after the Jesus animated feature that's in the theaters right now. And the theaters can't get people out fast enough because they go, I've got to process the movie. This is a spiritual moment for me. When your movie is up, and this goes for all of you, all right? You Marvel people and everybody want to stay till the very last credit runs across that screen. Enough is enough. When the movie ends, get out of the theater. Pick up your stuff, number one, which so many of you don't do. But number two, get out of the theater so they can do the work to get things ready for the next people. You're not the only people in the world.
You know what's funny is you just got done telling people, no, I'm not tired. I don't sound tired. Everything's fine. And then you had to dump that Huang joke. And so you were slowed down a little bit.
Very loose word.
Now I'm sounding.
Well, you're back to normal now.
Okay, it's all built up. Yeah. Good to go. Let's do the stories that didn't make the cut. They said a loose peacock was found wandering around in Philadelphia. In West Philadelphia, there was a peacock just making its way around the city. One and one only, a fabulous feathered friend that was spotted strutting through the city like he had brunch reservations and no time to waste, they said. You know it's going to be that kind of day when your morning meeting gets interrupted by a wandering peacock. You'll love it for now, Philly. You'll love it for now because it's a new thing. But eventually, those peacocks will wear you down.
I brought Lexi to PetSmart to get her groomed over the weekend, and there was somebody watching the door, and I was like, that's weird. That's not normal. And I went in, and they were like, you might want to take your dog to the left, sir. We have a loose cat in here. And I go, that sounds fun. They're trying to quarantine this loose cat.
I said Lexi can handle that real quick.
Loose cat alert.
Oh, Lexi probably wouldn't care.
Oh, she loves kitties.
All right. Here we go. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Monday, April 19th, 2025. Tanya says, I love peacocks. Have many feathers from my uncle's house that raised them. I don't hate them. I just hate them when they won't go away. All right, we got a bunch in our neighborhood.
They can multiply. It's incredible. I think I texted you guys late last year where I counted 37.
Yeah.
In one area.
And by the way, they had gone around our neighborhood and removed a bunch of these things not that long ago.
Where'd they put them?
There was rumors about body bags and all sorts of crazy stuff. I think it was all nonsense, but here we are regardless. Today I learned this show right here.
Breaking Bad.
That's right. Vince Gilligan described the pitch meeting he had with HBO for Breaking Bad as the worst meeting he ever had. The exec he pitched to could not have been less interested in the idea of this show, not even in my story, but about whether I actually lived or died. He couldn't have cared less, he said. In the weeks after, HBO wouldn't even give him a courtesy no. They wouldn't even say no. They just hated it that much. But boy, were they wrong. AMC picked up the wild idea of Breaking Bad, and now it's a huge hit. Today I learned this guy right here. Tom Petty. That's right. On May 23rd, 1979, Tom Petty filed for bankruptcy. He wanted to get out of his recording contract at the time, and it worked. They said this was a trick that he found, a loophole in the deal, and they wanted to use this for other groups like TLC or even Run DMC, who were in some bad deals. But Tom Petty was successful in 1979, freeing himself of the deal with Shelter Records. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Miss any of the show? Get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com.